Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 44 of Punching Up, Last Stand Media's bi-weekly Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, as always, Brad Ellison. Joining me, I have my co-host, Micah Moriarty. Micah, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Brad. I have a gingerbread scented candle burning in the office right now. Why didn't I think of this sooner? I've never burned a candle while I podcast. I love candles. I always light a candle when I'm in here working on orders. Why haven't I done this for a show before? Why didn't I think of this? And it's right in view. I swear I'm being very safe. I can see it straight across the room. It's not like I can't fucking see it. But oh man, this is like a revolution to me right now.
Well, isn't it just going to make you hungry?
Oh, I love food candles, but yeah, there are some of them I can't buy. Yankee Candle is notorious for having like some of the best food scents, including their Thanksgiving candle, which smelled exactly like turkey and gravy. It was bizarre.
Candle? That's like turkey and gravy?
You could smell the celery and the stuffing, Brad. It was incredible.
Oh my God, that's insane.
But they had this chocolate cake candle that I actually couldn't burn it because it smelled so good. It would leave me starving. This, though, gingerbread, it's like, the cinnamon and the spices. Like, it smells more like, freshness baking than like actually cookies in the oven type deal.
Yeah. I get that. Okay, cool. I like him. I could get in the spirit. That's very nice.
Yes.
And of course, also our other co-host, Gene Park. Gene, my friend, how are you?
Good. I got we're recording later, so I got my Santa hat ready.
Hell yeah.
On my mic. And if you guys, for video watchers and listeners, you guys don't notice, I have a new pair of headphones that I'm actually using. No more regular earbuds.
What's with the change?
I just got tired of well, first I had the Studio Beats, the Apple brand that they bought from Dr. Dre.
Right.
And every time I bought Beats, they always sound good, but they always break. But they always cost cheap? Like $300 or whatever. I don't know why they're cheap and also expensive, but that's just like the way life is these days. Everything is just fucking falling apart. So I just bought a Sony brand $30 headphones, and I figured, might as well start using it as opposed to having the earbuds that always drop out of my ears. I got kind of tired of that, and just slightly better sound quality. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. I used to wear mine all the time, but sometimes I have them right here. My headphones just sometimes turn off for no reason, and I don't really know why. So I was like, well, I can't really have that happen anymore during a podcast.
Yeah, these are hardwired too, and also these are surprisingly comfortable. I figured that over-ear headphones would be better for me since I wear glasses, and it's always uncomfortable. But then they never work, and then now these are just like on ear, just really light, and it doesn't hurt my ears or anything at all. So the sound isn't like the most amazing thing ever, but it's actually comfy. So that's the only reason why I was using earbuds, just for comfort. Because if you guys notice in my earlier episodes of LSM, I was using those headphones, those stupid Beat headphones. And they get tiring after wearing them after 3 hours. I don't even listen to headphones for gaming for that long too. So but maybe these, I don't know, who knows. $30 Sony.
Oh wow.
No, I have the same ones. I have the same ones, Gene, because I was using them last night when I was playing my 3DS, and they're some of the only like over-ear headphones I can tolerate, just because I get a headache from wearing over-ear headphones like every time. Just like I always get after like half an hour, like my head just starts to hurt. I just hate it. So I have those same ones, and they're lightweight enough that they're really not very bothersome. Perfect for playing my little 3DS.
Yes, these are lightweight. So like over ear ones, like they're more expensive. So like your brain is tricked into thinking that you're getting like a higher quality, more comfortable ear experience. And everyone's ear is different. And I guess for you and me, we prefer like the lighter. This is like a fluffy cloud compared to the other headphones I've had, So
Totally.
Yeah, I might actually plug this into my Switch or 3DS and see how this is, or into the DualSense, right? You can, I think you can just
that's
plug
true.
a
I
headphones
do
right
that.
into DualSense and just hear audio. So
Yeah.
might try that tonight.
Yeah, because I hadn't used mine in a bit just because if I'm playing on Switch, I can use my Bluetooth earbuds, right? And I started playing Ocarina of Time this week, and I was like, oh, let me just get my headphones. I'm like, great, 3DS doesn't have Bluetooth. So I was like, I gotta get the white headphones out. But like, I mean, for our shows, I always use my these are bone conduction headphones. They go around the back of your head, and that's just because I can't talk if my ears are covered. I can't do it. So I don't like having the feedback of hearing my voice back through the headphones. So this is the solution: is I have to have my ears open for the shows because otherwise I can't do it.
Well, you can disable the loop back of hearing yourself talk.
Oh no, so that's the thing though. It is disabled, but then if I can't hear it, I'm talking too quietly type deal. Like your ears are covered. So then I'm not talking loud enough. Like you need the loop, I feel, to actually be like at the right volume. So it just doesn't work for me.
I think it's something you just get used to, and like I think if you did it, Micah, you'd be used to it in like 30 minutes. But I know you don't like change. You don't like doing new stuff. Only if you've done it before. So I won't push. I'll just let it be.
Oh yeah, the famous Homer Simpson quote: "I only like new foods if I've had them before."
Exactly. That is Micah. Yes. This is happening during our break right now, so everyone's off doing something. I don't know. I'm probably eating gingerbread house or something like that. I don't know. What, Micah's probably baking something or working on the grill. I don't know what she's doing. Gene probably playing with Jack, his cat, doing something awesome. Maybe having relaxing with something. I don't know. Do you guys like eggnog? I had a conversation about this with
I
the other
hate
guys.
eggnog.
Okay, me too.
God, what?
Micah, of course, I assume likes eggnog.
I don't like to drink it because it's too thick, but I love eggnog desserts. So I have made in the past eggnog cupcakes. I've also made like an eggnog like cream pie, which I shared this in the Discord. This is like one of the easiest desserts you can make. You get a box of the Jell-O no-bake cheesecake mix, and the milk that it calls for, use eggnog instead. And you get a really good like eggnog cream pie. It's insanely easy. You can make a proper eggnog cheesecake, of course, if you want to, but if you need a quick dessert for like a holiday party, it's amazing. And it is. I like the flavor of eggnog. I don't like the texture or any of that, but in desserts, I'm a big fan.
Yeah. No, thank you. I'm good. That's one holiday tradition I will not indulge in. Same with fruitcake or whatever. Nah, I'm not into that stuff. No, thank you. All right, guys. We got a write in from Parks and Rec. Hey, little honkers. Honkers? We're honkers? I don't even know what that means, but I'll take it. Looking back on year 7 of the Switch, what game surprised you? Could be one you were sleeping on, but was great, or one game you were excited for that let you down. Can't wait to see what's in store. Hopefully, merch for Punching Up in 2025. If we have merch, it needs to be very heinous, I feel like, for our show.
Oh, right. I mean, did you guys see that carrot that I tweeted last night?
No. I'll find this, though.
Yeah, you gotta go see it. It's a very sexual carrot. I was making dinner the other day, and I took a picture of it.
I just opened your Twitter, and it's just you getting your socks wet, and I'm furious.
Yeah. Wet sock gang.
That is horrible. What is wrong with you? Never mind. I feel like I say this every episode. There's always something I learn about you that just upsets me. Look at this dirty little carrot OC. Good Lord, Micah.
But look at it. Do you see it?
Yeah, it is.
Do you see
it? Oh, my God. Oh, I like how Gene is just so used to this now. Just stone-faced the entire time. Just it is what it is, man.
Sometimes you just gotta like graystone it out, just endure it,
Yeah.
That's what it is.
God. All right, so what's a game that surprised you or a game that kind of let you down? Gene, anything that comes to mind?
I don't know about surprises. Obviously the release of Emio, which I still haven't played, and I still want to. What was a surprise, and that might be the surprise because I keep hearing really good things about it. Micah, you played it, right?
Yes, actually.
And you loved
So
it, right?
before the show, yeah, I made little notes before the show because I wasn't sure exactly what direction Brad would take this in. But I wrote my list of favorite games, and what I wrote literally was Emio really surprised me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because I I wasn't sure about it when it first was announced. I was like, "Ooh, a kind of horror game for Nintendo Switch, excellent." When we got more details and I found out it was a detective game, I wasn't as sure. I do love visual novels, but I don't typically like detective games. And I played the demo and it completely hooked me. And then I was just itching for the game to come out between from when I played the demo to the actual release date. And the game just had me floored the whole time. So that is the one that definitely surprised me in terms of I didn't expect to enjoy this as much as I did. I didn't expect the story to be so wonderful. It was just a really cool experience. You know, they have, I'm not going to spoil anything, but they just really reward the player for seeing the game all the way through the end. It was excellent. And it's something I highly recommend to any visual novel fans or detective fans. Uh, it completely took me by surprise how much I enjoyed this game.
Nice. Awesome. Trying to think of something that surprised me. I guess, well, Micah Yumi played through Thousand Year Door finally for the first time.
Yes.
And I did like it. It definitely felt old. Of course it is, because it's based off a GameCube game in a lot of ways, particularly some of the padding and the backtracking. But I was still happy I enjoyed it a lot because it was really the first Paper Mario game and I made it all the way through. Because I've tried with Origami King was all right. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. But I was really happy to get through that. What I'm disappointed with, though, is I guess it's not game related. It's just still no Zelda, still no Twilight Princess, still no Wind Waker. I'm going to complain about this every time. Jeff Grubb, you liar. You lied to us about this. Where is it, Jeff? Apparently Nintendo's just holding it, waiting for the right time. But I don't know when the right time's going to be, if ever, on Switch. At this point, just save for Switch 2, all right? Let's move on.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, enough Switch. I'm already mad I have to get Donkey Kong on Switch. But I will happily do it because it's Donkey Kong.
I think for me, the disappointment was Princess Peach Showtime.
That's a great one, yeah.
Yeah. Not a bad game, right? But I was definitely expecting something, a little meatier, a little. Performance aside, the performance is disappointing, of course, but I would have been okay with it if the game just had a little bit more. It was it was as simple as a lot of people word it was, and I don't know. Some powers are just more fun than the others, and some of the levels were much better than the others, but that's why the game has such an uneven feeling. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it just kind of disappointed me. So
no,
yeah.
I completely agree because that was a game I was really looking forward to. And then I played the demo and I just said, this is just very simplistic. Of course, maybe they're not showing us the best portions of the game, but waiting for some of the reviews to come out and getting a little confirmation that, yes, it's fun, but it is overwhelmingly like simplistic, the whole way through. And I was just like, all right, it's not a game I'm going to buy full price. Maybe if it ever went on a deep sale, which Nintendo doesn't do, I would play it. But the demo, especially the loading times in the demo, were atrocious. It's like there's only a couple areas open to us and the loading screens were so bad. I thought, what's it going to be like when there's an entire game back here for you to parse through? So that was a disappointment for me as well, Gene, because I was really excited for that game, but decided not to buy it.
Yeah. It's like we talk about stinky Switch all the time. We're just like, it's a little stinky. But now I feel like it's rotting,
It's starting to stank.
It's starting to like really decompose and rot in the sun. So it's like, but let's put this puppy out to pasture already. Come on, Nintendo. Let's move on. Hopefully next year. This might be up next year. I don't know, but hopefully Switch 2 news. We're desperate here. Drowning. Or we're starving, I should say. Thirsty for Switch 2. All right, guys. Let's go over some of the games of 2024. Kind of a weird year for Nintendo. I don't know, kind of mixed on it when I look at what came out. There's some cool stuff, but not a lot that I'm like game of the year contender right off the top of my head or anything like that. Nothing that groundbreaking. No Tears of the Kingdom this year or something that's powerful. Even not even something like Mario Wonder. Nothing quite that caliber yet. But I'm curious about this one. Another Code Recollection came out January 19th. Gene, do you know anything about this game? I have not played it. All these games I haven't played. I wasn't on Punching Up yet, so my obligations were much lower. I did not care. But now, Gene, do you know anything about this?
I played Another Code ages ago and barely. But I was definitely into like the whole visual novel movement in the early Nintendo DS days. Hotel Dusk was one that I finished and played, and Another Code was like another one, and I was just like, I think I'm done with this, but I never finished it. So, yeah, that's one that I should also check out too. You know, just for nostalgia's sake. You know?
Yeah.
And also, I just never finished it too. So,
Micah, any interest in this game or any thoughts?
No, I remember when this was announced and I was kind of lukewarm on the idea. Then it's like, okay, it's visual novel and it's got like puzzles in it, a little bit of point and click adventure. I wasn't really feeling it, but like even now kind of reading the description of it again, and it's not something I don't think I'd get to ever. My list of visual novels is already so long.
I mean, it's a really good one. So, I mean, you know, from what I remember, but you know, again, I'm speaking from like memories of reviews and like impressions and what I heard back then. But like, it is one of the better ones, and that's why it's come back. So, it might actually be something you might check out, but that's coming from me, someone who hasn't checked it out. So,
yeah, yeah. Let's see here. Donkey Kong or Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remastered or whatever. I wanted to play this actually. I just kind of never got around to it just because there's too much here. But this is a remaster, I believe is a Game Boy Advance game. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Maybe it's just a Game Boy game. But it is a little, it looks like just like a really fun, small game, kind of puzzle platformer thing with Mario and Donkey Kong going at it. Gene, did you play this at all?
I didn't play this one. I played the prequel, Donkey Kong for Game Boy, way back when. That's one of my favorite
that's that
games.
really great Donkey Kong game, right? Yes, I do have that.
Yeah, so this is basically like the sequel to that concept. But you know, that was such a great game when I played it when I was a kid. But I never played this one, and I haven't played the remaster either. So, yeah, if Nintendo does a Nintendo Wrapped, do they do Nintendo Wrapped? I don't think
that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know.
Nintendo Wrapped. There you go. Your personalized Switch year in review 2023. Okay, so they do that. I'm interested to see.
Is that? That was 2023. It's not up yet.
2023.
Damn.
Oh, is there a radiotimes.com fucking media is okay. See, I just got clickbaited. Holy shit. Radiotimes.com tells me Nintendo recap how to see your 2024 wrap like Switch stats. And I clicked through and it says, unfortunately, Nintendo's year in review isn't just live yet. Fucking clickbait, man. This is the top result on Google. Google is a shit show. Games media is a shit show. Just all these AI driven like articles that are just like clogging up the fucking space. Anyways, there is no Nintendo Wrapped yet this year as of recording.
Right.
But yeah, I'd be interested to see because you know, it was a slower year for me for Nintendo. You know, I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy, but I gotta say the Switch didn't get much love for me this year.
Yeah, when we're recording this, the PlayStation 1 came out like a day or two ago, but it was broken for most people.
Dude,
but I saw you got to get through it at least, though, Gene.
I got through it and it broke halfway through. Like as I was scrolling through, like it just stopped and it just stopped working. So that's why I was able to screen cap what I got, and I found that I played 706 hours of PlayStation 5 this year.
Nice, dude. Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to see Micah's Nintendo Wrap because that's her primary platform. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Be real interesting.
My Xbox Wrapped was pathetic. It was only 40 hours of Xbox playtime, and 10 of those hours was Hellblade 2.
Damn.
So it ended up Hellblade 2, my least favorite game of 2024 besides Concord, is my most played Xbox game of 2024.
Yeah,
that's sad. Because I got I beat it in New Game Plus. I played the hell out of it, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah, you gave it a fair shake.
Yeah, I gave it a fair shake. You know?
I wasn't a fan of it either, but
right.
I'm trying to think of my Xbox. Like, I don't think I really played anything on my Xbox this year just because I play everything on PC usually nowadays if I have to. Like, I played a lot of Call of Duty this year with the boys and stuff, but yeah, I don't think on the Xbox console. I kind of just have it now for backwards compatibility, I feel like, if I want to play older games, which is cool.
It's good as a platform, but it's not good as a ongoing platform, I guess. Right now.
Yeah.
I mean, but shout out to Indiana Jones. We can talk about that a little bit later. But
yeah, absolutely. Mike, any interest in this Mario vs. Donkey Kong game remastered?
No, I mean, this was one I thought was cute when I saw it coming out, and it was neat to see people excited about it that remembered the original. But puzzle platformer, I'm already bad at platformers. Now you're adding in puzzles. It looked like too hectic to me. Of like, it was the feeling I got when I try and play Tetris, like just watching the trailer, and I was like, this is gonna stress me out. I was just like, nah. I mean, I think it looks like a really cute little game, but you're mixing two things that I don't really like, which are puzzles and platformers.
All right. Next we had Princess Peach. Oh, by the way, we're getting this from Nintendo.fandom.com. Just looking out their notable releases for this year. Next we had Princess Peach Showtime. Gene, you did play this, or both of you played this actually. Mm-hmm. And you guys were kind of disappointed by it. I thought it seemed really cool because it reminded me of Puppeteer when I first saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Like being on the stage and this play aspect to it. And I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting. But once I heard from both of you, that was just kind of and the performance was really bad. I was like, yeah, I'm out, man.
Another game that Princess Peach Showtime resembles is Balan Wonderworld.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because Balan Wonderworld is about just getting a power and just using that power. And
with one button.
Nothing else you can do except that power. And it's just one button, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is just a slightly tighter version of Balan Wonderworld, which again kind of speaks to the concept. It's like it's not a great concept.
So you're comparing to Balan Wonderworld? Just for context, I gave like a 4.5 out of 10 because
on Easy Allies, that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. There's some cool I remember the boss fights were kind of cool in it though, and it ran really nice, but it had like that weird reverse draw distance thing going on. Mm-hmm. When you would get closer to something, like a person, they'd just disappear for no reason. I never knew what that was about. It was super strange. So you comparing Princess or saying it reminds you of Balan Wonderworld is not a good sign for me at all. So that makes me even more scared to play, Gene.
Yeah, like I played a little bit of Balan Wonderworld and I was like, this game sucks, but like it's interesting. It's an interesting concept, right? And they could have executed better. And then Princess Peach Showtime is like a different version of executing that. And I think they did it better or just cleaner. But it's also, it doesn't really show the full potential of this concept,
Yeah.
Like both, it's a Balan Wonderworld like, so it's a Balan like.
Balan like, that's right. Mm-hmm. All right. Endless Ocean Luminous. No one got a chance to play it. I forgot this even came out.
This was another one that was honestly a disappointment because when they said they were making a new Endless Ocean, I was interested because of the Game Grumps, Let's Plays that they've done in the past.
Of course.
But this is not the same thing. And it's just like, it's not the same as the previous titles. So I was just like, I don't really want to do it then. Hogue, I think, ended up liking this game quite a bit because he said it was like very relaxing. You just go in the ocean and photograph your fish. But because I think it's like Endless Ocean 2 has this whole storyline where like you're looking for this amulet of a lost civilization and like your dad died in the ocean and like it's this whole thing. And then this is like, go take pictures of fish. I don't know. So I was actually kind of bummed out because it's not what I wanted it to be. I was like, oh, sweet. I'll finally get in on one of these. And they ended up making just a very different game with the same title.
Yeah. You wanted more of an adventure, it sounds like, from it. Some sort of story plot.
Well, that's the thing. And I'm going to say the story sucked. Like Endless Ocean 2, if I'm thinking of the right one, it's like, the story's not good. It's very weird, but it's just a completely different experience to what this is, where it's like, go in the ocean, go take pictures of fish. And in that one, you're looking for an ancient civilization and you're competing with other diving teams, like who are like trying to find it first, and your dead dad. Like there's all these layers to it. They tried, right?
Yeah.
But in this, it was just like, I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just not what I wanted. Much like how I was like Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed in name only. I'm like, this is Endless Ocean, sure, because you named it that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't resemble
Doesn't
the other
like
games
it.
I watched, Danny and Arnold play at all.
Yeah. Danny and Arnold? Those are the Game Grumps?
That's a long running joke that Obama is a really big Game Grumps fan, but he doesn't know that their actual names. He's always like, that Danny and Arnold. Oh, I love that Danny and Arnold. That's a whole thing.
Is this an actual Game Grumps joke or is this a Micah joke?
No, this is a Game Grumps joke. It's
Okay.
they have like an Obama impersonator that they use for some of their merch ads.
Oh, that's funny.
It's been going for a long time.
That's funny. All right. Next, we have Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Yes, we played through this, you, me, Micah.
Yeah.
You just shook your head as soon as I brought this up. Please talk to me.
I did like it. I'm going to what I wrote in my notes. I'm glad I played it, and I enjoyed finally getting to know this game, but I didn't love the pacing. Some of the battles feel really stale by the end. This is one of those games where, the entire area will have, okay, and you got to use this power up on these enemies. Let's say it's a whole area of enemies with a spike on their head. So you can't do jump attacks, you have to do hammer attacks. And it gets really boring when they don't mix it up at all in an entire section, and you have to do the same attack or a slight variation the whole time. It just gets very stale. And the pacing, we talked about, for example, very mild spoiler, we talked about the wrestling storyline.
Oh my God.
And the wrestling storyline, you have to become the champion. To become the champion, you have to win a series of battles. When they said, oh, you gotta beat 20 people, I was like, oh, they're probably gonna have you do like 3 of these. And then like the big boss is gonna come out and ruin the day. And like, they had you do all 20. Really, and if you mess one up, because there's these objectives you have to do, you mess up, you gotta play it again. There's a whole sequence to even get to the battle that you have to do. And I was just like, I remember talking to you and Dustin about it, like, this is madness. That they actually had us do all 20 of these battles. And like, so the pacing in some sections was painfully slow.
Yeah.
And it really just kind of bogs down the whole experience. Getting past that point, which was a disappointment for me. I'm a huge wrestling fan. So at first I was like, oh, this is awesome. I love the spirit of this, the campiness, And then I got so sick of it. And then getting past that point and it improves a little bit, but then we have the issues with the enemy types being way too samey. And you're just stuck using the same attack over and over. I liked the story it told. It was very cute. I did really like the characters. But there was so much dialogue at times that I was like, dude, they're monologuing like Joel and Ellie in The Last of Us. And it's like just a cute little story. Like, I don't need all this. So the issues I had with the game were like the pacing and just kind of like overdone dialogue, but I did like it. And I am really glad I finally played it because it's something I completely missed out on. Yeah.
I enjoyed going through it overall, but I do think it has problems. And I don't put it on the caliber other people put it on, quite that pedestal. That chapter you were talking about specifically really was painful for me to get through. I really struggled to get through that. I was ready to throw in the towel with that game. I was just like, I don't get what they were doing here. It feels very not good, very bad, I would say. But yeah, I'm happy I finished it.
The disappointment too was partly because I had so much fun with Super Mario RPG Remake. Mm-hmm. That was one that it was like the perfect game length for being a little bit of a simplistic game. Shorter experience, doesn't feel like it's overstayed its welcome, doesn't feel dragged out. The difference is that Paper Mario is way longer and it's still relatively simplistic. That was the big catching point for me, is like Super Mario RPG was this, truncated, not truncated, but it was like this compact experience, perfect length of game. There are little bonus things to go around and do if you want to spend more time with it. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, I was just like, this game could have been half this runtime and it would have been better for it. Just honestly, there are things you could have trimmed. Some of the dungeon areas could have been way shorter just to make it a more compact experience so you're not getting bored with the combat.
Right. Gene, Did you play this at all, or any interest?
I played it back in the day. I have not played the remaster at all. I am with Micah that I am not a huge Paper Mario fan. I like that was in your door, and I think it's the best one. But for me, it wasn't Super Mario RPG. You know.
Yeah.
I like that it's shorter. I like that it's simpler. I think the story is kind of better. You know. Just more broadly speaking, as a Mario story. So yeah, I don't know. I wish they. I don't like the. You know what? I just fucking don't like Paper Mario. Like the aesthetic. I don't like the fucking paper aesthetic. You know. I think it looks kind of stupid. I'm tired of it. You know, it doesn't feel cool or interesting. Like Crafted World at least is you know, has textures. You know. I like Super Paper Mario for the Wii because that one used different perspective changes. So I'm like, oh, cool. Paper Mario, you know, actually doing something, you know, making the perspective change like a core mechanic of the game, right? But otherwise, yeah, as an aesthetic, I'm not like a huge fan of it. Anyways, I really do prefer the 3D look of Super Mario RPG. You know, that classic claymation look. Yeah, and now Super just RPG. Like a regular 3D Mario modern look, whatever like that. I still prefer that too.
Yeah, Super RPG, the best. Yep. Can't beat it.
Yep, it's the best one. So,
all right, Gene, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. I know you went on a Luigi's Mansion kick when this was coming out and around this time this year.
Yeah. Talk to me about it. I was obsessed with Luigi's Mansion this year, right around the time Trump got shot at. And then, so now we have another assassin that's in the headline news trying to kill, or he did kill another guy. And his name is Luigi Mangione.
Mm-hmm.
Mangione. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Right?
Yeah.
There's something going on there. There's something there are threads that are connecting everything from Trump to the CEO to
Nintendo is the Illuminati.
Yeah. What we're saying. Like maybe Nintendo is Alan Wake.
The Patriots.
You know? Yeah,
Nintendo's the Patriots from Metal Gear Solid 4.
Everything from behind. But I was stoked for Luigi's Mansion 2 HD because I remember I loved it. And when I played Luigi's Mansion 3, I loved it too. But I was like, I don't know if it was better than Luigi's Mansion 2. So the HD remake got me a chance to kind of reconsider that. And I think they're about the same. But, you know, I do see more of 2's flaws. Now that it's on a home console, you know, I think that staggered loop of going in, finishing an objective, and then once the objective in that stage is done, then you kind of get pulled out. It's very like Mario 64 in a sense, right?
Right.
Because in Mario 64 you collect the star and you get kicked out of the painting, and then you have to reset the whole level to another star or whatever, to another objective. That's exactly what Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is. And I thought that was super fun for when it was just
handheld.
When it was just handheld, but on a console release, it was a little exhausting. So like the flow of Luigi's Mansion 3 is just a lot better. So, but still really cool flavor. And if you do play the Switch mostly handheld, then yeah, Luigi's Mansion 2 is it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. Did any of you guys play this?
I did.
No? Okay. Yeah. But Gene did, yeah. What did you think, Gene?
It's okay, but like, you know, I haven't seen it since the updates. Maybe it's been updated, but you know, at launch it didn't have friends list updating. You know, like the way Astrobot does, right? Right. The Astrobot speed levels that got added onto as DLC in the past 2 months or so, they allow friends boards, and
that's cool. Yeah,
and that's very convenient, and that was very motivating for me. As opposed to on the Switch, I don't know. Like it's a Switch. One of the stinkiest things about the Switch is this friend code and friend network kind of thing. You know, I just wish it just worked like a regular old friend network, as opposed to, I don't know, just very clandestine thing. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I didn't play it that much, but I do have the collector's edition just to have it, just as a collector. It's fun.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
No, you make a good point, Gene, just about the friend leaderboards, because I saw in real time when Colin was playing the Astrobot, speed trials, and he
Mhm.
beat one of Dustin's times, and he was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, look at this!" and he's like so excited about it. And it
Exactly.
is, it's another layer to the experience. It's not that I beat, Joe Schmo 69, like I don't know
No.
who that guy is, but it's like, no, this is my actual friend, and I'm stomping on him, and I'm gonna take a screenshot and tell him go beat this, and maybe
Exactly.
he will, and maybe he'll send me one back, like it adds a whole layer that was missing on Switch.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah, a real like intimate kind of competition that really matters. Because I don't give a shit what the number one world leader record holder for this Mario level has. I'm never gonna beat that. Same with
Yeah.
Astrobot. I'm never gonna get to like below 30 seconds, like 25 seconds, and beating the speedrun levels. But I do want to beat, LSM listener Real Radic. Who
yes.
who is really really good at it, and he really motivated me until I just fucking gave up. I was just like, I can't do it. I'm not good enough at Astrobot. Just plain and simple. Or I just didn't play it as much because the Radic, he just posted his PlayStation Wrapped, and he had 140 hours in Astrobot.
Good
Wow.
lord.
Yeah. And
Holy
he says
moly,
most
Radic.
of it was idle time. Is probably more 70 hours, and I'm like 70 hours in Astrobot. That's all speedrun levels, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I have about 25 levels or 25 hours in Astrobot. So that goes to show like the level of dedication I had with the speedrun levels there. But still, it's more than I had in Nintendo NES World Championships.
Yeah.
Where it's like I
Definitely.
really felt motivated, and there were people out there, and I was beating almost everybody except for Real Radic. So like, I was like, okay, I'm just not as good as some of the best players. That's all. But
Leaderboards are too unfriendly for Nintendo.
yeah,
They won't allow it. They don't want anyone getting their feelings hurt. So can't have
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Just you have to be. They're okay if broadly speaking, then you're not anything special. But
Right.
you have to be special among your friends.
Yeah.
You can't fight your friends. I was like, no, we really do. We're Marvel rivals, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go, Micah. MEO, the Smiling Man Famicom Detective Club. Talk a little more about this game, what you liked about it so much.
Absolutely. Well, number one, and people, you might be surprised by this, the soundtrack for this game was impeccable. It had this really dope, there was like this real funky bass line that they use in a lot of the scenes. And I'm a really big fan of the bass, obviously, and it was incredible. The soundtrack, great. The voice acting, really well done. The animations, also very well done. There were some like that were a little bit comical, like they were supposed to be. There were moments where this game actually made me laugh out loud because the facial expression matched like so perfectly with the voice acting, and it was like they really sold the mood. The game has, in all aspects, the game has some really sad moments. The game has some flat out hilarious moments.
Mm.
They keep the tone. They really do just kind of switch it up on you periodically. It's not just a whole depression fest to play this game. Because the premise of the game is quite dark. You're a detective. You've been hired to investigate the death of a middle school student. It's already right off the bat sad, but they pepper in a good amount of humor, not in an inappropriate way. This doesn't feel like you are ruining the tone by adding in jokes. It always feels appropriate in the sense that it doesn't feel like you have just completely subverted the whole, sad storyline you just set up and then someone's like, who farted? Like, it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's moments like the detectives are having some downtime, they're making small talk, they might, have a lighthearted moment. But during the investigation itself, they're not looking at the dead body and then making a joke about his tie or something, right? Like it's very well done the way that they keep it light enough that you don't feel like, I don't want to play this, it's too sad. But while also maintaining a good amount of the serious tone throughout. And the game really motivated me to see it all the way through. There's a lot of twists and turns in the story that I was just like, whoa, not expecting that at all. And I say that as someone who I often I'm not saying this to like toot my own horn. Sometimes like movie trailers give so much away that you're like, you just know what's going to happen, right? And I feel like that also happens sometimes with games. I want to go in like as fresh as possible because sometimes you just can figure it out. And like the example I always mention is that like I was talking to Dustin about Persona 4 Gold, and it's like I figured out who the bad guy was really early on, to the point that I almost didn't want to finish it. And I remember though I finished the game because I wanted confirmation that I was correct, but I was just like, bro, yeah, I know who it is, right? This is a game that kept me guessing the whole way through, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, from the soundtrack to the animations, like the atmospheric noises that they add in, this is an experience that it's not for everyone. I saw some people, disappointed after I talked about it on the show because they tried it and they found it boring. I have to say that you do have to like visual novels to enjoy this. This is not an action-packed detective game by any means. It is a visual novel at its core that tells a really great story that has you doing some clicking around, point and click adventure type stuff, but it's not action packed. If you don't like visual novels, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you do, and you're like me maybe, and you don't typically enjoy detective, visual novels or mystery themed ones, I definitely would say give it a try, because this did end up being one of my favorite experiences of the year when I really was so lukewarm on it when it was first announced. I was disappointed. Actually, when I first saw that it was going to be a detective visual novel, I said, oh, never mind. But that demo sold me on it so quick.
Yeah, that's great. I'm really stoked to hear you enjoyed it. That's so cool. Because it kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't know anything about it, so I'm glad you dove in and really enjoyed it.
Written by the director of Super Metroid.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that before too, as well. Yeah,
Yoshio Sakamoto. He wrote Super Metroid, Metroid Other M, and Metroid Dread. He is the Metroid guy right now. So.
Yeah, the Metroid guy.
Yeah, he obviously didn't create Gunpei Yokoi,
no.
the creator of the Game Boy. Metroid, legendary guy. But yeah, this guy's no slouch either, man. He made Super Metroid. He made the best one.
Yeah. So. This next game's not first or second party, but I just want to give a shout out to Epic Mickey Rebrushed. The original one was on Wii, and I never thought the series would come again because we got Epic Mickey 2 and no one gave a shit about it because it probably sucked. Like I haven't even played it. I have it on the Wii U, the stinkiest place to probably play it. And I've never even played it.
Stinkiest console of all time. Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, that's the Ouya. All right, the Ouya is the stinkiest console of all time.
The Ouya is like irrelevant. No one even cares about that.
I cared.
It's just like, you cared about Ouya? You got suckered in. I was going to
buy one. I almost bought one. I really wanted to play that game where the narwhals stab each other. I wanted to play that. I was really big on the Ouya train. I didn't buy one, and then I was very glad I didn't.
Yeah, died pretty fast. Hey, shout out Towerfall there on that. That was sick, though. That was a good game. It got ported to other stuff later, though, of course. But yeah, Epic Mickey. I've been playing a little bit of the Rebrushed on PS5, not Switch, but it's been delightful to revisit it. I'd like to go back. All right. Probably the biggest one, I guess, for me at least, is The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. All three of us played this. Micah actually enjoyed this. Her first, I think, proper Zelda experience. Getting through there. Micah, I want to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah, this is another one that really took me by surprise. When the trailer came out, it's a Zelda game. And I said, I don't like puzzles. But something about this one looked much more approachable. And I said, I'm going to give this one a try. I played the whole game. I fell in love with it immediately. And this is what kicked off me trying more Zelda games. But this experience was top tier. This is probably my number one, Nintendo like first party release of the year. It's still not my game of the year, but I think it's second place because it really showed me not only that I can find enjoyment in, the Zelda universe here, but it also showed me that, okay, they are willing to give us something that's a little different in regards to like not quite so difficult. Because like 100%, some of these Zelda games still too difficult for me. I'm gonna say that like I'm not 100% wrong. Some of these games are still way too hard for me, and it just is what it is. But this was one that they made that was really approachable. The method of puzzle solving by conjuring these objects in any order you choose. You're limited to how many you can make appear at once, but this open-ended puzzle solving was much more my style. And I had a blast with it. And I'm really glad I gave it a try because ever since then, I've played a couple more Zelda games. I'm having a lot of fun with them. Not all of them I like as much, but this is what kicked it off. So I really do hope we see, it doesn't have to be the same mechanic, but I hope that this game did well enough that they'll say, we'll make another, I don't want to use the word like simplistic, but we'll make another, slightly easier Zelda game in the future versus like the Tears of the Kingdom style. Like, give me another one of these. Give me another one of these. Yeah. It's a little simple.
I think you definitely will get more of these. These are like the more, it's not 2D, but it's more in line with the old 2D games, I would say. It's kind of
I like the style a lot.
Yeah, in its style. So I think this will continue. Grezzo's been doing Zelda stuff for a while. I'm sure they will continue to do it because it seems to be working out just fine for Nintendo. Gene, quick thoughts on this game.
Yeah, it's my 8th game of the year. And we accidentally published my top 10 games of 2024. We were supposed to publish it tomorrow, but someone pressed the wrong button. So now it's out right now. So,
I'm not going to look at it for future summon time. We're going to do a GOTY episode. I don't want to know.
Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, it is my my game of the year or not game of the year. Well, it's my Nintendo game of the year, obviously.
Okay,
Nintendo doesn't have much going on, but here's what I wrote for it. It was a slower year for Nintendo, yet its flagship series returned to classic form, and innovation echoes allows us to copy objects and monsters to navigate the world. The top-down perspective forced Nintendo to revisit and innovate on its classic dungeon templates. This may not be the most important game of the year, but it is an important evolution in the Zelda series. So like that, I'm kind of hinting at what I believe what they're going to do is they're just going to keep reiterating on this. I think Micah's wish will, and both our wishes, or all of our wishes, maybe will come true because, yeah, it's nice to have Zelda like this and not have Zelda games that take 8 years or 7 years to make.
Yeah,
and they are mega complicated, and they're 100-hour epics that only is 20 million people will play, but beyond that. It's exhausting, I want to play Tears of the Kingdom again, but I know it's going to take so much of my life, and I don't have that right now. So
I desperately want to revisit Tears of the Kingdom, Gene, but I'm just waiting until Switch 2 comes out, just in case. In case,
right? Yeah. I've been wanting to play Tears of the Kingdom again. It was a good game. There was so many cool story moments that happened in there. The ramp up to some of the dungeons are amazing, and I love to be able to re-experience that again. But yeah, Switch 2. Once the Switch 2 comes in, I don't know if I'm going to replay Breath of the Wild. I think I'm just going to yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom kind of replaced it.
Yeah,
it's kind of just a better version. Echoes of Wisdom, just a delightful little cute Zelda game. You guys know I love Zelda a lot, so of course I'm happy to play it. Runs really bad though. Like, what are you guys doing? How can you not lock this game at 30 frames at least constantly?
Lock it at least at 30, man. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's very annoying. It really bothers me.
It. Yeah. I want everyone to know that if you're like me, you're going to love it because I couldn't see anything wrong with it.
I could see it constantly. And it constantly annoyed me.
This shit doesn't bother me, but I could see it constantly too. And it's like, yeah, if you just Tears of the Kingdom, locked at 30 frames per second. Beautiful experience. Wonderful experience. No complaints from anybody, really.
Yeah. Just give me the option.
You just did that. I don't know why they didn't. So
and it's so weird. Like Link's Awakening also had some problems, but this felt like it ran almost worse sometimes than that when I remember. So disappointing in that regard, but
play Tears. Play Link's Awakening again. It is worse. At a more constant clip?
Okay.
But it's just always happening, and it happens in the dungeons too. At least with Echoes, it was like 35 to 45 frames per second in the dungeon. Sure. So like your brain can kind of trick like, oh, it's pretty smooth indoors, but once you get outside, then it's a shit show. But Link's Awakening is like is just constant stop and go shit. all the time.
Yeah.
So,
But also, I agree with Gene. You kind of need a Zelda game in between the really huge 7 years, because like Zelda games take forever to come out. It's just the way it's been for a long time, and it's a bummer for me. But it is cool to get these little smaller experiences coming in every couple of years or so. So I am happy about that. So
yeah, and,
well
and
done.
it's really one of the only big fantasy series, I guess, besides like Final Fantasy, which always has spin-offs or whatever. But like Echoes is not a spin-off; it's a mainline game.
Yeah.
So it's, imagine if we had smaller scale Witcher stories, right, from CDPR.
Yeah.
It's something simpler in a different format, but also continues the story or is in the same world and also has interesting shit going on in it. But we're not going to get that. We're going to wait 10 years for Witcher 4.
Yeah, Witcher 4's coming.
Witcher 4 is coming, but Witcher 3 came out fucking ages ago.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Blood and Wine kind of took that spot, I would say.
You're right.
Well.
You're right.
Yeah, those two DLCs were excellent. Heart of Stone
DLCs
and
really,
Blood and
really
Wine.
helped. It really helped smooth that ride out of Witcher, and yeah, it's Cyberpunk that took up so much.
I know, but
space,
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I still know what you mean.
You know what I mean, though. Yeah. Like, imagine if they kept making like Blood and Wine likes or whatever, right? Or if they were big enough, or had the capacity enough, or they farmed out their IP for other Blood and Wine likes or whatever,
Yeah, like a 30-hour game or something like that.
Even a 15-hour game, just like a small little map or whatever, and you just wander around or something.
Yeah,
but
interesting.
We just don't get that anymore. So that's the value of Echoes, They're like, no, here's another Zelda story, and also miraculously, it fits into the timeline somehow. So
don't talk to me about the timeline, Gene.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we had Super Mario Party Jamboree. I am bummed I haven't played this yet. I have heard from Mike Huber, my good friend and Mario Party expert, that it is a really good Mario Party. So I'm disappointed I haven't played it quite yet. Do you guys have any interest in this?
I'm always interested in Mario Party, but I've never been a huge Mario Party fan. I did play this I did go to New York City to play this preview, so I did play it there, and it was fun. But I don't have a lot of friends to play video games with, and if I do, you guys are playing Call of Duty, so
not anymore. It's Overwatch now.
It's Overwatch now. Overwatch, not even Marvel Rivals.
We played a little bit of Marvel Rivals.
I was thinking like we should get in a couple of games of Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, we can do that.
This game is fun, but it's like
we can play.
I feel like it'll just really come alive if I actually have like a team to like.
Yeah, if you play with friends, it's way more fun. Yeah, of course. Well, you're in that Discord server with us, so you know when it's time.
Yeah.
But Micah, any interest in Mario Party Jamboree?
Oh, yeah, I would love to play it, but I think Mario Party is best played, in person with a group of friends.
Right.
Like, it's just without that, it's like, no, I'm not just going to play it myself against the computers, for example. It's best played with a group of friends. And kind of like Gene said, it's like, do I have friends who play games? Yes. Are they here? No. And it's that in person, like, oh, you can't believe you did that. Like, that's the energy of Mario Party that I always loved, going to a friend's house and playing it together. The absolute chaos, when the bonus stars are being handed out and we're all flabbergasted that the dude who was in last place wins the game. It's just not the same without actually having that in-person experience. Colin does not want to play Mario Party. So even if it was like the two of us and bots, he doesn't want to play it. So I'm always interested in Mario Party. I simply don't have a group to play it with.
Yeah, we should just all buy it and go on a Discord call and play it together. That's how we have to do it. It's the only way to get it done. That's how we gotta do it.
It will be.
Yeah. All right. This is also not first or second party, but closely with Nintendo nowadays, which is strange. But Sonic and Shadow Generations. Gene, I know you played this. Talk to us about it. People loved this game.
Yeah. So I can talk about it. This is coming out. When is it coming out? Next week, right?
When is this coming? No, not next week. From when we're recording it, no. I don't know. Well, you don't got to break embargoes about anything. It's fine.
Okay. Well, I can give social impressions, but I watched the Sonic 3 movie.
Okay.
Which was great. It was super fun. And then so now it is December 11th. So tomorrow, the Keanu Reeves voice pack and Sonic 3 skin pack for Shadow the Hedgehog drops. So I am very, very excited for that. So I did boot up Sonic Cross Shadow Generations for the Nintendo Switch, which I heard could actually run at a 60 frames per second rate, but for some reason they locked it at 30. But if you go into the game and people hacked it and they just unlocked it, and it's like it runs smoothly, it runs fine at 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
So I feel like an idiot playing it on the Switch, but I feel like it does make sense on the Nintendo platform. But that the fact that it's not running at 60 frames and it could actually kind of fucking pisses me off. Mm-hmm. So I might just get the game on PS5 or Xbox or whatever and just play it there too instead. Yeah. Because I heard the Shadow campaign is good. I never actually finished Sonic Generations, like the original one.
Oh, okay, nice.
So I've been asking my Sonic friends if I should play that, and they're like, "No, you should actually play part of Sonic Generations."
Yeah,
because it will weave into the story of Shadow Generations, and I hear the Shadow Generations story is very, very good. Like, actually, like respectful of the story. The Maria stuff isn't as corny anymore. Like they actually like lend gravitas to Shadow's pain and suffering and his trauma. Which the movie does too, and his voiced by Keanu Reeves,
I know. It's so funny. I just can't care about any of these Sonic characters. I just don't care about any of their plights. I know a lot of people like them, but I'm hearing about Shadow's crying about his human friend or whatever. It's just like, okay, I guess I just can't do it.
I can't even joke about this because people always get mad at me about spoilers. But yes, like Shadow is traumatized and he is crying over his human friends.
Isn't it Sonic Adventure 2?
That's Sonic Adventure 2, yeah. It's a storyline for Sonic Adventure 2.
It's 30 years old, man. Just
game's
spoil it.
old.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, like his little gal pal, which is a little girl, dies and gets shot in fucking Sonic Adventure 2. Fucking just. This little white girl gets shot, man. Like, this is the only video game where little white girls get shot at and die. And then so Sonic 3 kind of has that story, but it's a little different, and I'm not going to spoil that part. But they showed that shit in trailers. It's not a surprise. So I'm interested to see how Shadow Generations kind of reinterprets that story, because that's what I hear the story's about. But yeah, it's a new campaign. It's kind of like this Super Mario 3D World / Bowser's Fury, and the Shadow Generations part is Bowser's Fury part. So you can switch between the two games. But I'm making my way through Sonic Generations now, and I think I might just switch to Xbox instead.
Sure. Yeah. Sonic Generations, fun game. I actually played it when it came out. It was a good game. Mm-hmm. So widely proclaimed as one of the best Sonic games, if not the best one. Damn. Okay.
But I will say that, as I'm playing it, and it's a lot of classic Sonic levels. Well, it's a mixture between 2D Sonic and like the Sonic Adventure style running levels. Honestly, I really, really like Sonic Frontiers and the open world sections of it. And so like when I'm playing this, I'm like, I kind of miss Sonic Frontiers actually. I think that's a ticket for me. That would be my Sonic Adventure 3. So I don't know, but I'm really excited to keep playing it. So. I'll get to it.
Nice. Cool. Let's see. Lastly, we'll just talk about...
Also, real quick on Sonic Cross-Gen and Shadow Generations, apparently it was received so well, this game, that people got mad that it wasn't nominated for Game of the Year.
Sonic fans, man, I don't know. I expect them to do that for any Sonic game.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not part of that crew. I don't think a remake should be. I'm already mad that Shadow the Erdtree is one of the nominations. So if I'm mad about Shadow the Erdtree, and and I would accept even Silent Hill 2 as a Game of the Year because it's just a remake, then yeah, or Persona 3 Reload, because a lot of Persona 3 fans were really pissed off that Persona 3 didn't get.
You got Metaphor, guys. Come on.
It's like, dude, we just got a new Persona game. It's called Metaphor.
That's Metaphor.
Play that one.
Yeah.
And Persona 3 is old. I'm gonna get to Persona 3 too. Don't worry. But because it's all that talk that says like, oh, Persona 3 Reload is really that good, then maybe I should check it out. So I have it. But yeah, Sonic fans were mad that it wasn't GOTY. But
yeah, everyone gets mad about something. Snub. This was snub. It's like, I don't know. Whatever, man. final game we'll talk about just briefly, because none of us played it, is Mario and Luigi Brothership. None of us have played this game. Came out at a bad time.
Yeah.
There's too many RPGs that I'm trying to play right now. I am curious about it, but I've never played a Mario, or I'm more curious about it because I've never played a Mario and Luigi game. So I would like to someday, but there's just no damn time right now. Maybe next year. Gene, any intent in playing this or wanting to?
Yeah, but there's so many other like Mario spin-offs I also need to play. I still need to play Mario plus Rabbids, the Mario plus Rabbids sequel, which is really good and really fun. And that also came out at a bad time, and I just didn't play it. And unfortunately, that director at Ubisoft left and everything like that, so the game really, really didn't do well. So yeah, I still need to play that before I even get to Brothership. You know, I really want to play that Mario and Rabbids game first because
yeah, I'm sure it's good.
I really, really enjoyed the first one.
Me
and
too.
The second one has some really, really awesome like gameplay mechanics that they added that no one really talks about. But yeah, it's gonna be a while before I get to Brothership. So sorry about that.
Yeah, same. Micah, any interest in playing this?
So I was, but what I was just checking because I wanted to remind myself on how long to beat. The main story is listed at 39 and a half hours.
Jesus.
The main story plus extras, 46 hours. And
What?
my default feeling is simply that I really do enjoy these little Nintendo RPGs, but I am also someone who says, like, I need a story. Either the story or the gameplay needs to be really compelling to play 30 plus hours.
Yeah.
I am a little nervous that it won't be. You know, I have heard some good feedback from listeners in our audience. Like Sean Mason told me he really enjoyed Brothership and he's a big fan of the Mario and Luigi games. But I see 46 hours and I'm like, I don't know if it feels like a Paper Mario Thousand Year Door situation of like, am I going to get sick of this? Because in my head, when this game was announced, I'm like, that looks like maybe it'll be 25 hours, you know? And that's a lot more than I expected. So I'm not sure. It's something I want to check out, but I don't know. 40 hours of Mario and Luigi, is it going to be that good? I don't know.
That's a long time for a Mario RPG.
It is, right?
That's yeah. If the website can be wrong sometimes, so let us know in the comments if that is wrong. If anyone played Brothership, but that is a long time, and that is a bigger turnoff than anything I've heard about the game.
Yeah, it looks like
IGN can give the game a fucking 3, but a bigger turnoff would be Mario and Luigi. The RPG is fucking 48 is half our Persona game. You know,
that's the thing of it for me. So, okay, like right now on the website, it says 112 people have submitted ratings for it. So that's a good enough, batch of people. Like, yeah, it's not thousands, but it's not like it's only 5 people. It is. I mean, that's just a really long time to be playing what looks to be a cute little Mario game. I have different expectations, I guess, when it comes to some of these Nintendo exclusives. Like Echoes of Wisdom, I couldn't get enough of that game because the puzzles were so engaging and the open world and exploring all of it. But I didn't really get that vibe from the trailers for Mario and Luigi Brothership. And yeah, seeing the playtime, I was like, if I'm already feeling unsure, I don't really want to commit to, 40 something hours of it. It's definitely maybe I'll check this out during a lull next year. But like as of right now, like Gene said, like way too many games I already want to play this year to feel like I want to spend 40 hours on that experience or buy it full price also, just because I'm so unsure.
Not even too many games, too many Mario games to catch up on. Like my Mario backlog itself, we've already talked about Mario Party,
yes.
And Thousand Year Door, like I don't dislike the game. I like the game a lot. I would like to try that game a lot and kind of revisit my feelings on Paper Mario. So like I feel like all these games are a much higher priority than the fucking 40-hour Mario and Luigi sequel. Jesus Christ.
Fair enough. All right. Cool. Well, those are just some of the highlights I could recall and we looked at from this year, some game releases. So mostly first party stuff. All right, guys, let's kind of talk about some other news highlights throughout the year, I would say I found a couple that I thought were noteworthy. One of them is Pokemon ZA or Pokemon Legends ZA. So I'm going to read you from what they wrote on the website. Announcing an ambitious new entry to the Pokemon video game series, Pokemon Legends ZA, releasing simultaneously worldwide in 2025. A new adventure awaits within Luminoy City, where an urban redevelopment plan is underway to shape the city into a place that belongs to both people and Pokemon. Please look forward to seeing it for yourself. So this is I guess the second game in the Pokemon Legends kind of like camp, where the first one was Arceus, which people really like and tell me is really good, better than Scarlet and Violet. People are saying like that, so it's better than mainline Pokemon game. One of the most refreshing Pokemon games people have said in a long time. I actually bought it recently, but I'll get to it some time down the line. But I thought this was pretty interesting, especially because people really were positive on Arceus so much. And people are kind of saying, I haven't played X and Y yet, or Black and White, but people are saying it's probably set in the X and Y world, whatever the region that is. I'm not there yet, so I'm not sure, but I think that's probably exciting for a lot of people. And whether we care about Pokemon or not on this panel, Pokemon is just the biggest IP on the planet, so it is just a fucking juggernaut. So I'll be checking them out, though. I'm all in on Pokemon now, so I will keep tabs and all that kind of stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, I completely memory hold that ZA was announced.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, I totally forgot too until I looked earlier.
Pizza?
I think it's ZA maybe. It could be like ZA, but I think it's like ZA like X and Y maybe.
Yeah, I could really go for some ZA.
Yeah, give me some ZA, dude.
Some ZA,
Who actually says ZA?
ZA, right? I've never actually, I don't know why that shows up in pop culture all the time,
I don't know anyone that says that. I haven't met a single person, unless they were joking around.
Yeah.
Give me some ZA, bro.
Can I have a slice of that ZA, though?
Yeah,
that hot slice.
Yeah. No, it's one of my favorite episodes of Everybody Loves Raymond. That's like a classic show for me. And Deborah is trying to come up with she was trying to come up with marketing ads or something. I don't remember why. Some of these highlights stay in my brain. And she was trying to come up with a character for a pizza place, and all she could think of was his name was Pete Za. And and of course it sucked. And and it was this whole thing of Deborah's really trying hard to make a new career or something. It's the best she could do. But I always think of that whenever I hear ZA. No, I've never heard anyone say that in real life.
Exactly. But, yeah. Everybody loves Raymond. It's pop culture. That's it.
I'll say, though, people get upset when I say, what flavor of pizza do you want versus what toppings do you want? And so I don't know how many other people out there say flavor. I don't know.
I haven't met a single person that says flavor. It's always toppings.
I met one now.
I've never heard that before either.
I mean, it's not surprising to me. From you, Micah. You were like an alien to me or something.
I can make the leap because a Supreme pizza tastes like a Supreme pizza, right?
Yeah. Red Baron Supreme.
Yeah, I got the mixture of green peppers and mushrooms or whatever like that. I was like, okay, this is Supreme with the sausage and everything like that. But but it's still weird, Micah. It's still weird.
No, if you're at my house and we're gonna order pizza, I'll be like, what flavor you want? It's Colin might say, what kind do you want? But right. If I was going to ask, I'd be like, yeah, what flavor you want? And you could get pepperoni. You could get my favorite, which is ground beef. But, everybody's different. No two people are the same.
That's true. Well, pizza is an interesting dish. You can just put kind of whatever you want on it.
Micah, if there's anybody who can prove the truth of no two people are the same, it's you, Micah.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah. And that, my friends, is a strong bad quote, because I love Homestar Runner, and I never stop thinking about it.
Did you know that I actually interviewed the Homestar Runner brothers back in college?
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I put them on the front page of our school paper.
Oh my God.
I interviewed them in the college newsroom, and we're all just this is 2002, 2003, so we're all Homestar Runner fans. And
that's
so
we
all gather around my speakerphone. And I was like, can you do the voice? Can you do the strong bad voice? Can you do the marzipan voice?
Oh, they did it. Yeah.
They did it. It was so cool. But it was great. It was awesome. So.
No, dude, my sister and I were such big fans. We still quote it religiously. Just the other day, she sent me a picture or something. I was like, oh, you did a great job. And she types back a great jerb. Like Coach Z.
See, even I understand that. God damn it.
Oh my God. Yeah, we loved Homestar Runner. I quote it constantly. Even the most asinine quotes. I'll just be like, oh no, we got a spinner. And that's a really that's like a strong bad teen girl squad segment.
Mhm.
Like just random things like that. My sister and I still quote all these years later. I hate that you said it was 2003. I really hate that you said that. I don't want to
Centuries ago at this
acknowledge
point,
that.
Over
yeah.
20 years ago.
Almost last century. That's what
Oh
it
Yeah.
my
is.
god.
That's wild. All right, shout out Homestar Runner, Trogdor,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Mhm.
Hamsar.
I remember. Yeah, I remember somewhat of it.
Oh my god. My favorite character was Bubs. He was like
Bubs?
that shady guy. He was like that shady guy who was like selling sandwiches, and he'd be like, "This one's shaped like it's got a bite taken out of it." And it was just a sandwich with a bite taken out.
No, I totally forgot about Bubs. Wow.
I loved it.
Wow.
Just quickly, with this Pokemon train never stopping, are you guys going to try to get back on it at any time?
Oh, totally. I love Legends Arceus.
Okay.
I played the hell out of it.
Okay,
I
nice.
don't know if I like it better than Scarlet and Violet now. But I like the gameplay systems. It felt good to throw live action Pokemon balls at the Pokemon. The world sucked, but it was cool to explore it and find Pokemon. And that's why, like, when I played Scarlet and Violet, the world and the map was like so much more constructed and like thought
Yeah.
out. And it's like, oh, they actually like gave a shit about like where things are placed, as opposed to like Arceus or Arceus, whatever. It was just like flat textures and just like here's a hill and here's a cave and here's a bunch of fucking trees and just go there and then like this is where the Pokemon are at or whatever like that. And then there were like a couple of areas where it's like here's like the boss arena or whatever, and that shit got exciting. And then Arceus is like god of Pokemon, like he is like the creator god of Pokemon, right? So it's like really, really cool lore in there too. So I really, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see how they evolve the Legends formula.
Yeah. Micah, do you want to get on that Pokemon train, or are you staying off?
So, Brad, you have actually inspired me a bit that I do want to check out some of the older titles that I've never played, but I am going to, wait and see how this new one does, because I wholeheartedly trust like Gene's judgment as well with like the, some of these being like broken. I don't want to get into that. So I'm going to wait till Gene plays this and I'll hear what he thinks about it, or you too, Brad. But what I actually am interested in, that's the thing, what I'm actually interested in is maybe going back and playing some of the older titles. I'm on a 3DS resurgence right now. And so I wouldn't mind checking out. The only Pokemon I ever played was on 3DS, but I don't remember which one it was. I got very angry when my cute Pokemon
3DS?
evolved and it was ugly. And I was very upset.
Look,
So,
you can stop the evolutions. So just look that up, and then there is a button that you can press to stop it. So
yeah, I didn't know, and I remember my cute little friend turned into this fucking scary wizard dog, and I was like, I hate it, and I stopped playing.
Wizard dog? That
he
sounds
was like a
awesome.
Wizard something. I hated it. It was very ugly. I don't like ugly Pokemon.
Was it Sun and Moon?
Maybe. I don't own it anymore, so I don't even know which one it was.
Like
I think I actually rented it.
Like France or Hawaii?
Oh wait,
I don't remember.
Should be pretty distinguishable. Did it look like Paris or Hawaii?
Did you have?
I don't remember. I remember running around in grassy areas.
Did you have like the little seal dog for your starter? It looked like a seal dog.
I don't think so. You know what? I rented it on GameFly. Is what it was. I never owned this. Maybe. Which one would that be?
That'll be the Paris one, X and Y, and that's the one where Zod takes place. So
I feel maybe. Let me, because the thing is,
yeah,
I think it was that one with the
Sword and
because
Shield?
Oh my god, they're all the fucking same. All right,
they are all the same. Yes,
so, like I'm googling this, and this isn't helpful at all. They all look the same.
The Sun and Moon is the one in Hawaii. That one's hard. That one's hard to like not.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's.
Yeah, so I think it was X and Y.
Well, it could be a remake, like the Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby as well.
Yeah, it could be one of those. But Omega Ruby, well, I don't know. They are all the same. Who knows?
Figure this out, Micah. Damn it!
Yeah, I want to check this out. What I want to do actually is I want to like, what's the best Pokemon on 3DS, and go from there. That's probably what I want to do, because I'm really enjoying having the 3DS out again as I'm playing through these Zelda games.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a couple other 3DS games too that I want to play that I never got to. So, but I'd like to add a Pokemon in here. But yeah, some of the recent issues with them give me pause to getting into the newer ones. But I'd like to play some beloved old favorites. Is actually what I'd really like to do.
Micah, bad news. A lot of the old games are very expensive to play. Very expensive.
How expensive?
Well, the Pokemon game I just played, I emulated it because it goes for a loose price of $200.
Oh, are you talking like the Game Boy ones though?
Game Boy Advance, yeah.
I don't want to go that old.
The DS ones, okay. The 3DS ones are cheaper right now. They're probably reasonably priced, like $50 or $40, I'd say, probably. But once you start getting into DS as well, then it can get a little dicey. Especially if you go for like the platinum version and stuff like that. Then you're paying a lot of money.
I still have my Game Boy Advance SP and it still works, but that was a feeling of I tried to go back to play it and I was like, this feels too old. So I am looking more in the 3DS DS realm. Okay. I know some of those other, like the really older ones are very beloved, but I'm too dumb to emulate and I'm too cheap to buy it. So we gotta do what we can.
I just had this idea, and I don't think I've ever heard this before. Why doesn't Pokemon just do HD 2D remakes of their old games?
It would make too much money, Gene.
We've talked about this. We thought it'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
It's like, you should do that. It's
a good, cheap way to do that. Everyone will fucking buy it. And it's a good way to keep the old series alive.
Because they already remake them. They've already done remakes for like all of them. So just remake it again.
Yeah, but they're ugly though, right? So, but you're right, Micah. That it would make too much sense, and it would take a lot of work. So.
Yeah, so it won't happen.
I mean, the return on investment, though, if they released some sort of Pokemon, 2D HD collection, they'd make $1 billion. Okay,
of course, like they're gonna make $1 billion no matter what they do. They could literally poop out a Pokemon and sell it to kids. Yeah,
they do. They literally. I mean, we all remember the quote from the Pokemon, like developer that was basically admitting we need to focus on a higher quality experience. We do need to right the ship that we can't just keep shitting these out. He didn't say that, but he was alluding to like they admit that they need to focus on a quality experience versus annualized releases. So they are pooping them out. Yep. And instead of giving us what we want, they're like, well, you'll play this. It's like, yeah, we will. But I mean, you'd be printing money with these things. It's just another boneheaded Nintendo move.
Yeah, well, the Pokemon company as well. A lot of that's
probably the Pokemon company more than Nintendo. So.
Maybe Luigi can fix this for us.
Yeah, maybe he can
Luigi Mangione
assassinate someone. In the Pokemon company.
Take out the Pokemon. The bullets will say, we want HD 2D remakes. Not quite as zippy as the original, but
Well, I would just be happy to get the old games on NSO or something like that. That'd be great. But
at a minimum, right? Like, please give me something.
Yeah. Nah. Sorry. Can't buy them. Gotta deal with it. Gene, I absolutely hate that you called it Pokemon Zaw now, because I'm never going to forget that. So thank you for that. It is now ruined for me.
I feel like that's what it's called, right?
We're going to find out.
It could be. If it's actually Pokemon Zaw, I'll be a little annoyed. I'm like, why are you guys doing this? Just do Z and A. Just do ZA like you did X and Y. Makes too much sense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, X and Y, Z and A, yeah.
Especially if it's in the same region. But you never know. It could be Zaw. Pokemon Zaw.
Pokemon Zaw.
Pokemon Zaw. I hate it. All right. Good news. We had some more good news this year, I guess. Not Pokemon. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. We finally saw it. We finally saw gameplay of this game that got announced so long ago. Then development got canceled and restarted, I should say, with Retro now doing it. Very stoked to see it. It looks pretty damn good to me. I'm excited. Gene, I assume you're excited as well for this.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Metroid Prime 4.
Oh yeah, of course, duh. Yeah. I can't believe it was announced. Like, people went crazy for it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite reactors is this Japanese girl who cosplays as Samus, and she just pops off all the time. she has great reactions of just freaking out in her armor suit. Um, yeah, it looks like a Switch game. A lot of people are like, "Oh, this is obviously Switch 2, right?" But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it looked like a Switch game to me because if you guys didn't play Metroid Prime 1 remastered,
Looks good.
that's a
Yeah.
damn good looking game too. So
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, I feel like I forgot that Metroid Prime 4. Like you just mentioned Metroid Prime 4, and I already forgot it because I'm so like I've already like trained my brain to like just like oh Metroid Prime 4, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move on with my day.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck am I gonna do? But am I just gonna think about Metroid Prime 4 all day? No, it doesn't
Yeah.
exist. So like yeah, I've already trained my brain so hard to just like memory hold it and not care about it until like I actually have it in my hands and I'm touching the game. So yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah. Micah, are you out on this? Too puzzle focused for you?
So, I mean, it looks cool, but I've never played a Metroid game ever. So I don't know if this is a good jumping in point. And like, my favorite parts of the trailer are like, oh, cool, shooting stuff. That looks cool. And then she starts rolling around as a ball. And I'm like, that looks less cool. So I don't know if this is a place to jump in as a newcomer to the series in the first place. But my expectations, I don't know, like, if I'd enjoy this, honestly. I think I'd enjoy the shooty parts, but I don't know about the rest of it.
Well, it is a Metroid game, and you hate Metroidvanias, Micah. So,
To be fair, I've never played one.
okay, okay. Well, the map,
I just hate the idea.
the
of
map's
it.
probably gonna be a little crazy. So get
It's
ready
like,
for that. It'll be 3D though, the map, but yeah, I don't think you're gonna like this, Micah. If you don't like trying to figure stuff out, yeah, I don't think this is gonna be it for you.
It's the stress, all right? Because you see the map, right? And it's like you're this like one little flashing dot on this like this whole landscape of like tubes, like the Windows, screensaver with all the pipes going around. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like you couldn't have made this a little more readable? And like people who get it. But like I watch Colin play this, he's like, oh, I gotta get back over there. And it's like, how the fuck do you even read this? It's like a little maze every time. I get very upset.
It is one of the better maps in the entire industry. So
yeah, Metroid they have good maps.
Metroid, yeah, Metroid like kind of created like really good maps, like Metroid kind of like designed like how good maps like should work in terms of like iconography. This is a save room, this is an item room, that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I thank them for their service and what they did for gaming. You want to see a good map, go play Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. That's a great map. It's a really good map.
Sure, yeah. All right, well, me and Gene will be there day one, obviously. This could be a Switch 2 release as well. We're thinking kind of like our Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild are on both at the same time, or both consoles. So I hope it's on Switch 2. I would love that, but seems like it at this point. But we'll see, I guess. All right. One more thing that happened this year that was very funny was the Alarmo. Nintendo made an alarm clock, and I bought one. I have it. And guess what? I use it every day, and I like it. I like you, Alarmo. Thank you for waking me up with sweet Zelda sounds all the time. In fact, they just added Mario Kart to it as well. Like, yes. I got it yesterday, so I have to check out whatever Mario Kart things they added to there. It's Nintendo. It's goofy as hell. This reminds me of like the vitality sensor and all that kind of stuff. Nintendo just experimenting with all these weird things outside of gaming consoles. This makes me just think like, what's next? Nintendo Blender, perhaps a toaster. Ooh. A toaster could be pretty sweet, actually.
I would buy the toaster. Yeah.
Yeah. That could be Nintendo Toilet maybe in the future.
Nintendo Bidet.
Nintendo Bidet, that's right. Yes,
there's
plays a little sound.
Effects. Yeah, it's the sound effects from Super Mario Sunshine. And like he's blasting your butt.
Yeah, it's Flood. Yeah, Flood going, Mario spraying you or something. Yeah, perfect. But yeah, the Alarmo is an insane product, but I do enjoy it. And I know none of you will buy it. And I have to say, you know what? You don't need to buy it. It's okay. It's an alarm clock, but I think it's hilarious. And I will keep it up forever on that Alarmo, as long as they support it. All right. Also, actually, let's switch gears real quick. Let's talk about what we're playing. Lots of stuff right now. Micah, let's start with you. What are you playing?
Yeah, so I did finish Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D
Oh, I'm
remake.
jealous.
Nice.
I like I mentioned before, I bumped it down to easy because I was getting
Yeah, that's fine.
bored with the combat. I still think it took me like 10 more hours to finish the game, but I did enjoy the experience. I'm really glad I played it. It's a lovely little game. I had the story threads that keep popping up. While it's not a very in-depth story, it does do what we discussed. If you go to a new area, something's happening in this little town, there's enough there that it's engaging and motivates you that you want to keep pursuing the main thread of the story. It's just, it's light on dialogue, it's light on storytelling, but I did enjoy it. I'm really glad I gave it a try. I think I'm torn on whether or not to play 1 and 2 remake. However, like those should be much shorter games, Colin said. So I think I probably will still check them out because by the end of this experience, I'm just a little lukewarm on it. It just really shows its age type deal, and I think I would have liked it more if I was a fan of the original game and was playing this remake with nostalgia in mind. But I do still want to check out the 1 and 2 remake when those come out because I do just love the pixel art. I do want to support these types of remakes. I do want to experience these, even if I don't end up loving it. I want to play these older games so that I can, have that reference point, right? So maybe it doesn't end up being my favorite thing ever, but, like playing, those first several hours of Link to the Past, it's like, well, I did play it and I got to experience it. So I think I will jump into 1 and 2 remake when those come out. Kind of convincing myself to buy it.
Nice.
And then, I started playing Ocarina of Time on 3DS.
Oh, man.
It's really good so far. What I couldn't... This came to me later on after we were talking about it.
Made by Grezzo, the Ocarina, the Echoes of Wisdom team, too. So.
Well, so I am enjoying it a lot. What I couldn't articulate about like what made Zelda Echoes feel so different. Zelda Echoes, in my opinion, the dungeons were a nice challenge, but what they didn't do was make it a challenge to get to each dungeon. And as an example, like Link's Awakening, half the puzzle is figuring out how to get to the next dungeon. Like that in itself is a puzzle each time. How do I get to this area of the map? How do I get the key to open this dungeon? Each dungeon itself is a puzzle simply to get there, and then you do the dungeon. Zelda Echoes was more so like you're going to each region, you're going to be presented with, the local problem, like what's happening in the desert, for example, and you got to go help them out. And then getting to the dungeon itself, though, is just much more straightforward. It wasn't something that I needed to constantly look at a guide to figure out, like, how the hell do I get this next, section of the story to unlock for me, right? And playing Ocarina of Time, I am enjoying the puzzle elements, but I definitely need a guide for those parts of what the hell do I do from here? Like, okay, you told me to go to Kakariko Village. I get there. I talk to everybody. I find this lady's chickens for her. I'm walking around. I found Dampy. All right. I talk to every single person in town and I'm just like not clicking. How do I proceed? Right. And so that's just one example, but it feels that way in terms of I do need to consult a guide a bit more because part of this is that the puzzle is how to proceed in the first place. Once I get into the dungeon, I just finished last night the Goron, like the Dongo Cavern.
Oh, the Dongo Cavern, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
And it was a lot of fun. I needed a guide a couple times because I missed a doorway. Like I looked through the whole dungeon and I'm like, I'm not finding how to finish this thing. And it's because I missed one bombable doorway, and I was like, oh, all right. As soon as I did that, bam, here's the next section.
That's happened to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when it comes to the dungeons themselves, I don't need as much help, but the overworld and navigating, each trigger point to how to get to the next step, that's what I've needed some help on. But overall, I like the little story that it's telling so far. They really, Jesus, those skull spiders and the
Skulltulas,
the cursed family, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is so dark. What is wrong with you people?
Zelda.
And I'm playing a cute little Zelda game. Look at Link's, fat little knees, like he's adorable. And then these people are like, we've been cursed. And it's like, fuck. So I'm really enjoying the shifting tone here, where it's like you're playing your happy little melodies on your little flute, and then bam, this poor family has been cursed. It's great so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm listening to the music here and there. Like I played the first probably like 3 hours with the music on, but the next time I played it, we were watching a hockey game, so I didn't have the sound on. But it was when I was in the dungeon, and it's just when it's like, okay, I'm gonna be hearing the same song this whole time, So I felt comfortable toning it down so I could watch the Islanders game with Colin. But I'm really liking the experience so far. And I'll say too, the 3D does look really great.
It does,
I turn it on periodically. It gives me the worst headache to actually play that way, so I never did.
Oh my God.
But I do love to, each time you meet a new character or go to a new area, I do love to pop on the 3D and like look around. But I said to Colin, it is so impractical because you have to hold the 3DS perfectly still and hold your eyes perfectly still, or else you lose the effect. Like, it's cool that it does work, but I was like, who wants to play like stock still like this the whole time? Eyes not moving, hands not moving, like don't flinch, But it was really neat. It looks really cool. It simply wasn't as functional when you actually sit down to play it and you realize you can't move and your head starts to hurt after a while.
Yeah.
But I'm having a great time.
Cool. I'm really happy to hear that. Talk to me though. What did you think of Ganondorf when you saw him?
Oh no, he's very attractive. All right, he's looking good. He's not Wind Waker Ganon, but no, he looks good. I like him so far. I like his outfit in this one. Okay. This is a good Ganon, I'd say. Zelda, strange. The not showing her hair is a little weird. She looks sickly. Like, there's not something weird about it. Like, no, she looks weird. Like, it's like she's hiding something under that hat.
Maybe
it's
she
is. It's like a nun hat. That's
Maybe
what it is.
is.
It's like a nun hat, and I find that weird with the elf ears. It just looks very strange, but
she's
otherwise.
A priestess.
Yeah, well, they could have shown a little bit of hair or something. I don't know, man. She's like 10, it's weird. She looks weird. I like other Zeldas better.
Sure.
and like her look. In terms of her design, I'm like, this is like C tier Zelda.
C tier Zelda design for Micah right now.
I'd rather have the Zelda from Wand of Gamelon.
Oh,
I think that's a real thing.
That is a real thing, yeah. Ugh.
There's a copy of it in our garage.
Oh God, Micah, just what's one of your favorite areas you've been to in the game so far?
Oh, I love the Gorons. I think they're really funny.
Yeah, the Gorons rule.
As of right now, I've been to Hyrule Castle Town. I went to the ranch. Went to Kakariko Village. Now I went to hang out with the Gorons. I find them very funny. They're really endearing. They have that, I don't know, it's like surfer dude quality about them.
They're stoners. Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. And yeah, they're addicted to eating rocks, and I find them very funny. I like the way they're just rolling around all the time. That so far, I really like those dudes. And Kakariko Village was cool too, like the humor in it. You have this woman who she needs you to collect her chickens because she's allergic to them. She can't touch them. So you gotta go find them all. And they pepper in humor frequently. I get Dampy though. You gotta deal with him, and it sucks.
Hey,
once again, he's better in this one.
Leave Dampé alone, all right?
He's better in this one, but Christ almighty, it ain't great.
Well, get ready. You'll see more Dampé in the future, as we told you before.
Yeah.
He's mandatory.
So that's actually the funniest thing that I notice as I play more of these games is the features that they bring back. Yeah. Like, it's been really cool starting with Link to the Past to this one, and seeing the enemies that they reuse, but how they've been redrawn. That's been really cool to see. And then same with the characters. And it's like, oh, and Dampy's back again. This time he's a gravedigger, and the other one he was like an architect or something. Like, it's neat the way that they reuse these, characters and enemies, but make them fresh.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to get to Majora's Mask and meet Tingle. I'm so curious.
I was going to play that one first, but you told me not to.
No. So. Yeah, you can't play that one first. No. Absolutely not. You got to play Ocarina of Time first. But yeah, I'm very stoked to hear you're playing it. Of course, we'll get more reports as you go through. Awesome.
Yes.
Gene, what are you playing? We're going to talk. It's funny because we're going to shoot Summon Sign after this today, too. So we're going to get real in depth with what we're playing. But just give us like the brief notes, Gene.
Yeah, I'll talk about something that I probably won't mention on Summon Sign.
Okay.
But I, as people know, I have been on a Persona 5 kick. And I recently finally finished Persona 5 Royal, which you never finished, right?
No, I finished the base game. In Royal, I only played like 20 hours of it.
Sure. Yeah. So you never got to like the third semester.
I never saw the new
portion
content.
The new portion.
No.
So it's crazy that I'm actually in danger of spoiling Persona 5 for you, possibly. But I won't talk about that. I will talk about. Well, I beat Persona 5 Royal. I loved it. It's the reason why I wasn't playing Indiana Jones. It's the reason why I wasn't playing Marvel Rivals. It's because I'm just if you play Persona 5, just kind of becomes your life. You just kind of think about it all the time. I just stopped thinking about like real people for a bit. I just stopped thinking about other games right now. So now that it's done, I'm just like, oh, what do I do next? So I'm playing Persona 5 Strikers.
Oh, really?
That's so funny. Good.
Yes. Okay. Which is basically the canonical sequel to Persona 5, does not so far include anything from Royal. Seems to be just based on Persona 5 itself. So it takes place after Persona 5 and it continues the adventures. It's kind of like a retread of the original story. The Phantom Thieves are back together and there's a new threat going on in the metaverse, and everyone has to go in. But it's an action game. This is made by Omega Force, the creators of Dynasty Warriors, and famously Hyrule Warriors. But Persona 5 Strikers is different in that they really, really tried to recreate how Persona 5 is. Mike has played it. Did you beat it?
Oh yeah, wow. This was one of those. This was an example of. I was not sure I'd really jive with the gameplay because I'm not really a Dynasty Warriors or, Hyrule Warriors fan, right? But I played this and the story was so spot on for how Persona 5 felt. I did also really enjoy the gameplay once I got into it, but the story this game tells, I'm like, this is on par with a mainline Persona game. It's really good.
Yeah, it's really weird. It has a calendar system, but you don't really like spend time with people. It's very linear in terms of like you finish the event and then time will pass, as opposed to you did your homework or you went on a date or whatever and time passed or whatever. But there's still days going on. I believe it's a much shorter calendar, and I believe this is a much shorter game. I think it's about 30-40 hours long, which is the size of Mario and Brotherhood. Mario and Luigi Brothership somehow. Also, this game is a lot harder than I expected because it definitely uses, even though it's an action game, you still have to, you can still ambush enemies. And each enemy has their own weak spots. So it's the same as Persona. You have to consider what the weak spots are. You have to consider your party makeup. There's huge. I'm starting all over again because I played Persona 5 Strikers without having finished Persona 5 at all. I finished about maybe a third of Persona 5, and I was like, oh, let me jump into Strikers. It should be fine, right? And fortunately, there wasn't a lot of spoilers for me at the beginning of Strikers. To the point that everything that happened at the end of Persona 5 was a huge surprise. And it was funny to watch the comments in Summon Sign because I was talking about I didn't expect this to happen in Persona 5. And it was still early on in the story. And there was still some, people can clearly hear that I was not expecting what was about to happen in Persona 5. So, and Strikers, fortunately, doesn't have any of that. So that's why I was completely unspoiled even when I started Strikers. But they implement so much of the gameplay systems, in terms of the weaknesses, the ambush, the all out attacks, the just the items, the different items that you need to equip and everything like that. It's crazy. There's huge difficulty spikes. Some of the bosses are just crazy. There's tutorials like 10 hours in still because they're still trying to explain features that they transported from the main game over to like this action game or whatever. So I've been having fun with that. But at the same time, I'm also kind of not wanting to play too much of it because I'm like persona'd out, like
Yeah.
I spent like a good 110 hours in Persona 5 Royal.
Damn.
People said it was a 120-hour experience, and yeah, that was no joke. I think I skipped a couple of the scenes that I already had seen already, and that's why it was a little shorter. But yeah, it's a meaty game. And at this point, I'm kind of tired out now. So I'm actually trying to revisit Indiana Jones now again. Because and I said this on Twitter. I don't like the Indiana Jones character. I don't hate him. I don't like him though because I think he's boring. But I don't hate him, and I like the game when I started out. But I really only had like 6 days to review it, and I was like, I'm not gonna finish this in 6 days, right. Especially when I'm deep into Persona 5, and I'm not gonna fucking quit Persona 5 right now. Fuck you. So I didn't. I finished it. And then now I'm playing Indiana Jones again. And we can talk about it more in some side. But I'm having a much better time. I restarted my Indiana Jones save completely because I was like already almost past the Vatican. And I feel like I skipped through so much of it because I was rushing it. And then I watched Kind of Funny's review. And then I heard Greg Miller and talk about it. And he finished the game in like 14 hours. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like he really rushed through it.
Beelined it,
he beelined it, which is fine. Like he beelined Star Wars Outlaws too, and when I played that, like I didn't like it too. You really can't beeline a game like this, so that's why I started all over. I'm like walking everywhere now, and I discovered like a bunch of shit that I just simply did not find. Yeah. So now I'm like almost right back to where I was, and like I'm just like a buffer, stronger Indiana Jones now.
Nice.
And it feels cool.
Yeah, so, cool. Yeah, I'm enjoying it too. We'll talk about more, but I am enjoying it as well right now from what I've played. Just briefly, I talked about this last week, but Marvel Rivals, I played a couple hours of. Humongous game right now, popping off. I think it's okay. As someone who's been playing a lot of Overwatch right now as well, I'm kind of like in the hero shooter space. And I think they're different enough where they can kind of stand out. But I mean, there's a lot of similarities going on, but they play very different to me and feel very different when you move around and stuff.
It feels so different.
Yeah, Marvel Rivals has like a big emphasis on melee combat with a lot of characters, which is cool. I like that. I think that's cool to make it stand out. But I don't think the melee hits feel very good in the game so far. And I think they need to work on that to make it more impactful because it makes me not want to play any melee characters in the game, which is a problem.
I don't think the shooting feels good. I
think it feels okay. Yeah.
It feels okay. But
everything feels okay to me right now. But I mean, I've only played a couple hours of it, but I'm not like blown away by it, but like so many people are. But I think it's good and solid, and there is potential there. Definitely. I think the characters look pretty good. All the designs I like. All they're like the style of the game I think looks pretty good.
I love the character design.
Yeah, I think that looks good. Some of it's kind of like combat right now because it's early and people are still learning the game and figuring out how things work. Everything's kind of like a clusterfuck. It feels like a lot of times, like fireworks popping off and everything like that. So, but I think it's a good game. I definitely need to play more of it. I want to play more of it to figure out some things. I found a couple characters that clicked with me. I liked Star-Lord actually. I thought he was really fun to play as.
He was really good. Yeah.
Psylocke is really fun as well. I like her a lot. Some of the tanks are kind of cool. Not as cool as I was hoping. I haven't found a tank where I'm like, yes, I really like you a lot. But there's like Venom, and it's cool you can swing around during the map and all that stuff. That's fun. Like Spider-Man can swing around too. So there's some cool like verticality going on in the game, but still need to spend a lot more time with it to feel comfortable really giving like a hard opinion on it. But yeah, it's interesting right now. It's free to play, so if you're curious about it, you can check it out. And it's very popular right now, so you'll have no problem finding games. But I'll see.
I threw some bucks at it. I had to buy the
Battle Pass?
Storm. Sure. Oh, I bought the Battle Pass because, it's a good deal, right?
Yeah.
And I had to buy the Storm skin.
Because, I didn't see that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, because look, I understand everyone's thirst for Psylocke. I love Psylocke. She is very, very important to my prepubescent development. But I feel like I outgrew her, you know.
Sure.
And I really started to, as I became a man, I really started to love Aurora
Storm.
Monroe, Storm. So
Mm.
Storm is trying to become my main. You said verticality. You can just fly as Storm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's cool. Yeah, like Iron Man's just flying constantly.
yeah. Iron Man is also fun too. So I've really only started to like use the flyers. I've only played like maybe like 3-4 hours of it. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I agree with you that the impact doesn't feel as good.
No,
You
not right
know,
now. I need to work on
like
that.
shooting in the melee, it feels very flat. You know, it just feels like I'm just kind of like bashing your action figures together would feel better
Yeah.
than playing this game. You know, so that's one thing I completely agree with you on.
Yeah.
Like Concord is a piece of shit game, right? Uh, I fucking hate Concord. I think I hate it whenever our own colleagues say, "Go Concord is a technically good game." You know, the only reason why it was technically good is because it does actually feel and move better than Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
Shooting feels better than in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
But the powers in Concord suck ass. The
Yes.
levels in sucks ass.
The characters
gameplay,
sucked
like
ass. Yeah.
yeah, just like the level of like play that's available sucks ass compared to Marvel Rivals, where Doctor Strange is opening up portals and you know Jeff the Landshark is just doing his thing, running
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
You know, and Spider-Man and Venom swinging around, and Storm like it's just flying above and like dropping like lightning storms. Like it's pure insanity, very imbalanced. But that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm really curious what it's like from a competitive scene or how that'll evolve and everything like that. Because
Go.
hero
Yeah.
shooters are known for a lot of that, so we'll see. But
And there's so many fucking characters, dude. Holy shit,
I
dude.
think there's too many characters right at the start. I think they could have held back a few of them. Because I looked at the roster, I was like, holy shit. I mean, it's cool, I guess, for a comic book fan or, you know, a Marvel fan. You're just like, oh, I know that character. I'm going to play as them. Like, I'm going to be Rocket Raccoon or something. That's cool, I guess. But what I'm thinking about from my angle of like me trying to understand these characters and how they played really, and I'm like, there's too many for me.
And they're all quite different too, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different. Like Punisher is just a shooter guy. He's Soldier from Soldier 70. Oh, it's Soldier 76 from Overwatch, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we can talk about more Marvel Rivals more later too.
Yeah,
so.
but yeah, like if you were looking for a hero shooter, you're kind of burnt. You feel like burnt out by Overwatch or something like that. You want an alternative. This is a good alternative. I think it's good to have competition in that space to make Blizzard better. So keep the pressure on them. All right, back to some Nintendo highlights from the year. Nintendo Music is one that comes to my mind. I don't know. What do you guys think about Nintendo Music? I've actually used it a couple times and I've enjoyed it. I think it's cool that you get it if you have an SO. I wish it was just free already or something like that, or they just put their music on other stuff would be ideal. But it's Nintendo, and you always got to jump through hoops with them. But I have used it. I love the feature of being able to loop a song. Like people are looping the like the Wii Shot music for an hour and stuff like that. That's so good. You can do all that kind of stuff because it does have a lot of the menu sounds and music, which are so good on the OS systems on past consoles. So I love that kind of stuff. And they do add stuff pretty frequently. I see like every couple weeks they're adding something new. So I've been enjoying it for what it is. Micah, what about you? I don't know. You're usually listening to like a podcast or something else. I don't know if you're listening to. You don't listen to game music when you're playing the game, so maybe when you're not playing games, you listen to game music or something like that.
Yeah, this is just something I was not interested in, strictly because even when the in-game music is exceptional, I so rarely go back to listen to a video game soundtrack. The one I typically go back to is I Am Setsuna, because I adored the music in that game.
Wow.
Or there's a menu music from one of the Dragon Ball Z games that I go back and listen
really?
to.
Cool.
Because I have one specific song I really loved. But realistically, no, I don't really go back and listen to game soundtracks. If I'm listening to music, you know, it's just regular music and not soundtracks from a game. But I was really excited that this was announced simply for the people who do love it, and seeing everyone being so excited about, oh, I'm listening to this while I'm working out. You know, like, for example, like Cog is really into listening to soundtracks when he's at the gym. Not necessarily Nintendo, but just the point being that, yeah, there's a ton of people that this was a huge hit for. And I was thrilled for them, but I have not even touched this because, like you said, no, even when I'm playing the game, I usually don't want to listen to the music. So, you know, it really depends on the title. But it's rare that I'd go back to the soundtrack. Witcher 3 would be an example too of one that I would go back to.
Oh yeah, great music in that game. Definitely.
So good.
So good. Gene, what about you? Have you dived into this at all?
Nope.
No?
Not at all. I like the feature that you can extend it into like 10-hour versions or whatever like that. I think that's super cool, and I think that's one piece of value add that the music app actually adds to just being separate from YouTube Music or like Spotify. Like you couldn't do that for any other app. So it is interesting that it does that. But I mean, I have it on my phone because I just have every Nintendo app on my phone. But
yeah,
I don't use it.
We even have Animal Crossing Complete on there, which I hadn't even booted up yet, but me and Gene bought it last time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I haven't even booted it up yet. So yeah, again, it's Persona. Like I've only been in Persona mode. I've been ignored. I missed a doctor's appointment. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
One thing I think is funny on here, they have like playlist for specific characters. Like for instance, there's you can look up characters, and there's Boo right here, and you click on him, and it's just like a bunch of haunted house songs that Boo would like to listen to or something like that. They have stuff for Yoshi. What is Yoshi's guy? He's got Flower Field background music from Yoshi's Island or Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, which is an amazing game. You've played that, right, Micah?
No.
I know you love Yoshi.
I do love Yoshi.
It's a very cute Yoshi game. You gotta
play
play
that one.
It's on NSO.
I'll enjoy this. You're telling me I'm going to enjoy this?
Well, it's a platformer, but you like Yoshi. You like Yoshi.
But you like Yoshi games.
Crafted World. I know, baby game, but you got Baby Mario with you on this. But maybe that'll annoy you. Actually,
I hate Baby. There's nothing worse than Baby Mario. Like my sister, we'd play Mario Kart Double Dash, and she'd have the stroller with Baby Mario in it. I'm like, and she'd always want to play Baby Park, and I'm like, I fucking hate this. Least favorite track, least favorite characters.
Yeah, I don't really know about Baby Park. I know people like it.
It's just an oval. It's just an oval. You go around it 20 times, and I'm like, bro, we could be playing on Peach's, the yacht or whatever, and you're choosing Baby Park, Peach Beach. I mean, like, out of all these great tracks, you're like, you know what I want to play is the one with Baby Park.
I know.
Because we would take turns choosing, and every time it was her turn, I was like, this is some bullshit.
Yeah, Baby Park again, dude. God. But they just added Wave Race actually to this Wave Race 64 soundtrack, so I am pumped to listen to that when I drive. But it's gonna probably make me want to drive fast, so I got to be careful about that.
It's a danger.
I know. I'll definitely be checking that out. But I'll look forward to see how it evolves over time. Also, Switch 2 news. We've been hoping to hear it all year. We thought it'd come earlier. At the time of the recording right now, which is December 11th, we have still heard nothing about, anything official like reveal. It's been acknowledged. Nintendo kind of reiterated it. So basically, Nintendo has reiterated that it intends to announce its next console hardware before the end of its current fiscal year, which concludes on March 31st, 2025. So I guess we're just going to hear about it sometime before then. So who knows when we're going to hear this? Sadly, it's going to be a while though, I guess. I wonder if this really is going to come out in the summer. It's kind of looking like that. Like it could just come out in May, June, July. I don't know. But some sort of acknowledgement from Nintendo about it. So that's news, I guess, because everyone's speculating about it all the time. But it's good to get something official. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys just think it's going to be summer? Or do you think it'll be earlier?
It'll be earlier.
You think earlier? Okay. You think, what do you think? You think March, April?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a repeat of the Switch. That's what I'm expecting. March, April.
March? Okay, Gene, I like that. That gives me hope.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Micah?
I'm hoping for spring versus summer. What I am thinking is how long do they want to put between the announcement and the actual, it's available, right? Are they going to announce it today, pre-order now, it's out in 2 months, I would like that very much. Because summer doesn't feel ideal. It's definitely not going to wait, too much longer than that, you would hope. So I'm with Gene in hoping that it'll be spring. I'm just not confident.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, Gene gives me hope, so I choose to believe.
I feel pretty confident that it'll happen soon. So.
Oh, okay. I like that, Gene. That's good. All right. Also, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition got announced coming out to Switch. It's getting a remastered version. I know a lot of people are very excited about this. I have not played Xenoblade Chronicles X because it's on Wii U and Stinky, but this one looks much better in my opinion. They've redone a lot of the characters' faces, which I also thought were horrible. Like the original Xenoblade Chronicles, just god awful, ugly. But it looks much better.
I like the original faces on the Wii. I liked
Gene,
it.
They look
had
like
character.
Shulk looks like he's melting like a candle. His face.
I mean, Shulk was not great, but I think everyone else looked fine. Like,
Okay.
you know, but Shulk was a problem. I agree with that. So.
Okay. Well, I just thought when I played Xenoblade Chronicles, I bought it the day it came out, and I just thought it was the ugliest game I had ever played on Wii. And that was one of the times, Gene, I quit a game because it was so ugly, and that like never happens to me ever. But on the stinky, like we think the Switch is stinky, dude. The Wii was really stinky back then. Wasn't even high def. Good Lord. But yes, we're getting Definitive Edition. I know both of you are going to be checking this out. Gene, because you like X a lot, don't you?
I did. I played through half of it all the way up until I got the mech. And then I played around the mech. It was awesome. And I just didn't want to play the Wii U anymore. I felt like I beat the game after I got the mech.
Once you got the mech.
So I was like,
damn,
I'm done. And then I just never played it again. But if I had it on a console that I actually like to play on, then I will get the mech and I will fly around in the mech. I can't believe it is fucking coming out until March 20. God damn it, man.
Yeah, it's a ways off still.
It'd be such a perfect game to just play like right now during the holidays, just cozy up and just like grind through, like, because this is a super fucking grindy game. This is grind the video game. There's nothing to do but grind, right?
Yeah.
But this is like the perfect like cozy, holiday game to just grind through,
Yeah, dude.
And
I get it.
March.
Micah. Yeah, March. Micah, you're down, right? I assume. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm going to be there day one. This was actually something that I was looking at. Yeah, what games am I looking forward to next year? Xenoblade Chronicles X is at the top of the list because do I need to play 3 first, Gene? Should I play 3
For
first?
X?
Can I play this? Yeah.
Oh, this is a completely different timeline.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think I'm going to jump into this for variety's sake. And then my plan is to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3 next year as well, because I do want to finish that trilogy.
Oh yeah, that's right. You finished 1 and 2. Yeah. This is nothing to do with X at all. Don't think that X is also very story driven. This is more like an MMO. So it's like you get a mission, you're finding out what the world is, and you go out and you just fight, But you're already a master of 1 and 2. Like you're gonna understand this combat system pretty well, I think, then. Since you're a Xenoblade Chronicles vet, which is not something I can say for most people. So
right, that's true.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm definitely going to play this at release. Then I will make sure to clear my calendar in March so that I'm ready to play it.
Nice. Also, Donkey Kong Country Returns is coming back. This is for me. I don't think most people care about this, but I care. Damn it! But I'm sick of getting excited about 20-year-old Donkey Kong games. Just give me a new one for God's sakes. They're adding some new features to this, though. This was, of course, the Wii game that originally came out. Then they ported it to 3DS. Now it's being ported again to the Switch. They added some new features like getting extra health and hit points and kind of stuff like that. So for some newcomers, definitely can help you out. Because Donkey Kong Country games can be really tough. Really tough. I mean, I love that kind of shit. But yeah, I know they're tough games to get through, so...
No, dude, I tried Tropical Freeze like when it came out because I was like, oh, I'd like to try this. Oh my God, it was brutal.
Scarred for life.
I was like, okay, I'm not at this level. I'm not at Donkey Kong's level. If I want to interface with this man, it's going to be in Mario Party, I suppose.
Humbled by the Donkey Kong, man.
Yeah,
that's
Tropical
insane.
Freeze was legit.
Yeah,
like that game was hard.
It is hard. It's such a good game, though. It's one of the best platformers, in my opinion, of all time. It's so damn good. Gene, any interest in picking this up on Switch?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Because I love the Donkey Kong Country games. I think they're very, very hard, and I never beat Tropical Freeze. But Tropical Freeze was delightful. You know who fucking got me into playing Tropical Freeze is the one and only Chrissy Teigen.
Oh,
That's so random.
that
Yeah,
is random.
she told me that I should play it. And
It's
she
so
says,
good, man.
She says it's really good.
Yeah.
So she's a huge Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze fan. She played it on Funky Kong mode, so easy mode.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chrissy
That's
Teigen, one of my more famous mutuals on Twitter. We only got along because she's a huge Luigi's Mansion fan too.
Oh,
So,
really? That's funny.
Yeah.
Huh. But yeah, Donkey Kong Country Returns, incredible. Well, Tropical Freeze, incredible. Donkey Kong Country Returns, not quite as good, but really good still. So I'm looking forward to this. But come on, Nintendo, please, man, just give me a new Donkey Kong game, please. God's sakes, you just gave him a new. At least they gave him a land or whatever in Universal. It's got Donkey Kong Land now. You can get a Donkey Kong hot dog, which I would definitely get.
Dude, that's actually what's so funny about the situation is they engineered that Donkey Kong, coaster where it's like it appears that you're going off the track for a moment. Like they put in all that work and they won't give you guys a new game. They're like, we engineered a new way to build a roller coaster. And it's like, how about a game?
Yeah, and they're like,
not that.
Yeah, you're fine. But can't give up hope. You got to believe in the Kong. All right, guys, let's end the show with some questions from the audience. For not when you're listening to this, but for the show, I always put up a thread on Sundays, every other Sunday, or I don't even know what the plan is. Every other Sunday for now, maybe every Sunday in the future. I don't know where the hell we're at in the timeline right now, but we'll see how things evolve. But just keep an eye out for the thread. I'll call for your submissions. All right, this is from Neo JD. Year in review for Nintendo? Pipe that. I want to hear about your year in review with each other. The last episode of Punching Up was one of my faves with the banter between you guys. I want to hear from you what you've enjoyed about working with each other, learn from each other, and so on. You guys have grown closer and it's been a pleasure to watch. Thank you for the laughs this year and can't wait to keep listening to the shenanigans. Much love. Well, thank you, Neo JD. Let's see. What do we enjoy? I don't know. I guess in just general, this is my first year working with LSM, almost a year from when we're recording. And it's just been delightful. Everyone's super nice to work with, really good, reliable. So that's really nice. And we all just kind of gel, I feel like, kind of naturally, I feel like I've known you guys for a long time and it hasn't been that long, honestly. Mm-hmm. So it's been really good. And I just love that I could share my passion about dumb shit like Alarmo and Donkey Kong with you guys and you'll entertain me. So that's really good. I appreciate that. Micah, anything you've enjoyed with us, me and Gene specifically?
No, for sure. It has been excellent to have you here, Brad. I remember I was so scared to meet you, like the first time I was on Summon Sign. Yeah. I'm a very shy person. In real life, I'm very timid. I don't like to talk to strangers. And I was so intimidated to meet Brad. I remember the whole time I was just so nervous. And as soon as the episode ended, I told Colin, Brad's so nice. I feel like I've known him forever. And it was just one of those things of you're just extremely welcoming, easy to talk to, but the fear subsided so quickly. Good. And then, being on Summon Sign, having you on here is some of my favorite days of the week to get to hang out with you and also getting to know Gene much better. And just this time we spend, whether we're on Punching Up together or on Constellation, it's been really great to spend more time with Gene. I miss having Dustin on the show. Yeah, I miss having Dagan on the show, but I feel like we still create a product that is fun and engaging. And I do think that we mesh really well together. The show has evolved more than I would have expected in the short time that we've been creating it. But I think we've held our footing and the audience seems to still be really enjoying it. So, that's the biggest highlight for me is that despite the changes to the show and how we present it and how the lineup, we've still, I feel, maintained a really great, fun atmosphere. And yeah, man, it's been really great to do the show with you guys. It just feels like every other week, like this is a really fun show to do.
Cool, good. I'm glad to hear that. Micah, you're not the first person to tell me they were intimidated by me. Me and my brother both have resting bitch face, I would say. And we give that kind of presence off to a lot of people, unfortunately.
Really?
But when you
I
talk
never
to
got
us,
that off you.
that's good. That's what I want. I don't want that feel. I don't want people to be scared to talk to me or anything like that. But I've heard that a lot in my life. So,
and part of it too was I had literally never heard of Easy Allies until Dustin. Dustin would tell me about it, and Dustin would tell me all about Brad, his favorite, teammate Brad. And that was part of the intimidation too, was like, oh my God, I mean, I don't know anything about, these people. And then also like Dustin, who's on a big podcast himself, is a big fan of this other podcaster. I'm like, oh man, like, I'm Bush League over here. I don't know what I'm doing, but it has been just, Brad is someone who's very just warm, friendly. Don't let the resting bitch face fool you. All right. Brad is the peanut M&M of the group.
Is he kind of like dumb though? I'll take it. Yeah.
No, not him. Like an actual peanut M&M. This is
I thought you meant like the yellow peanut guy. Who's
no.
like, oh hey. I mean, I'll take it. Sure.
Fucking Big the Cat of M&Ms, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that Brad is deficient.
No, I'll take it.
On King of Queens, it's one of my favorite
you're like
episodes.
a Big the Cat type of
yeah,
character,
exactly. Yeah. Frogs are cool. What can I say? I'll take it gladly. Awesome. But Micah, you've been a pillar of this company. I feel like you've really blossomed a lot this year. So it's been good to see that.
Thank you.
See you kind of get a little more comfortable with the shows. I like that a lot. It's good stuff.
Just a tad, not too comfortable. You can't get too comfortable.
You're getting out of your comfort zone. You're listening to music and games a little now, so that's good. We're making progress.
Ever since I told people that if I could murder someone and get away with it, I would, and like nobody else on Constellation agreed. Ever since then, there was a chink where the audience will they persistently bring it up. It's like, she'd murder someone if she could, and it's like, wouldn't you all?
Nobody agree with you on that?
No, and you know what?
I kind of agree with you.
They did. It's bullshit because I know they did. They just don't want to say it. All right. If you could get away with it, I'm not getting into it. But all I'm saying is they lied. Same as the butthole sip. They lied. All right. I know the truth. I know.
Okay.
I know.
There's a Louis C.K. bit where he talks about the only thing that preventing lots of murder is the fact that we have laws against murder.
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to go to jail.
If murder was legal, everybody would be murdering, and you wouldn't trust somebody who didn't murder anybody. Like you'll all be hanging out, like having a smoke, and you're like, oh, I never killed him, and you're like, what the fucking weirdo? What the fuck? What the fuck's wrong with you?
Let me just tell you. All right, there's a difficult person in my life. Okay, I had a dream last night that I had this person by the hair. I ripped out some of their hair and I shoved it in their mouth. All right. And that's what subconscious Micah is feeling. All right. So you just can't tell me that you don't have someone that you'd murder. You just can't.
Damn.
I feel like even if you waited till you were like 80 years old, that's really what I'm getting at is like, if I was like 80 years old and I was like, I could get away with this.
Yeah. Sure.
It's something I'd take out.
Okay, sure. Michael. Well, I was with you for a while, and then
you painted a graphic picture.
Yeah, but I did not know that your brain is already like working like that.
Scenarios thought out in her head.
Like intellectually, I can argue. Yes, I think a lot of people would murder, and I might too. But like, I'm not like thinking immediately. Actually, I do have one person that I would murder. But I don't. But I haven't thought about like that in like specific terms. I'll be like, oh, I fucking kill him for sure.
I haven't thought specifics. No, there's no specifics. There's no plan. There's no specifics. To the FBI agent listening, I'm not like, I haven't planned anything. I haven't thought about it like that. It's just like, oh, I'd throttle you. Like, oh, I would. I would. But I haven't. There's no. I'm not planning on getting a bucket of lye to dissolve the body or anything like that. I'm not doing that.
Anyways, that's Micah's Punch It Up year in review.
Yeah. She will kill someone if given the chance.
In Minecraft.
That's right.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft. Yeah. All right. Oh, Gene, anything you would like to say?
Yeah. I think my prevailing thought really is fuck Dustin.
Yeah.
Right? Fuck Dustin, right? Fuck him. You don't need him anymore. You know?
Guys on Sacred Symbols thinks he's too good for this show now.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
Just kidding.
I mean, I really do think, I mean, obviously Dustin's great,
Yeah.
and he's a great pal, and we love him. But I do think that splitting him up into two different shows, especially our core product, and the amount of work that he does like daily, especially since we knew that we so much of the company knew firsthand how much Dustin does, during the past few months since he's been on leave. So we greatly appreciate, fuck Dustin, but also we greatly appreciate
We need you, Dustin.
the amount of work that he does and everything like that. So, we're glad that he's off the show, actually. It's because it's a good thing for him. It's a good thing for us. It's a good thing for our chemistry because, as I think people are enjoying Brad as the host too, and Brad has a much more. Now, I'm glad Brad is here because, Brad's a Nintendo player,
Mm-hmm.
He's probably more so than any of the ones and any of the folks at Easy Allies, even too.
Yeah, one of the tops there.
Yeah, so
at least history with Nintendo as well.
Exactly. So it's nice to have Brad bounce off, and he's going through Pokemon. Mike is playing Zelda.
Things are good. Yeah.
And Xenoblade.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, man, I can't even get like some of my closest friends to play Xenoblade Chronicles. So for Micah to have played 1 and 2 in order, that's rare. That's a gem right there. So
because of you, Gene, like this is part of what I really love about doing the show with you guys is I trust your recommendations. Colin has pointed out over the years, sometimes we get recommendations from listeners and respectfully, they want you to play the game because they like it, not because they think you'll like it. Mm-hmm. And it is a big difference getting recommendations from your friends who know your tastes and will say, I think you actually will enjoy this. Mm-hmm. And it's just very different to play, to talk to people who know you well and know what you enjoy and get their recommendations. And it's 100% because of Gene that I even started the Xenoblade series. It's because of Gene that I fell in love with it so much. It's because of Brad that I really said, I'm going to try more Zelda games. I'm going to jump into this. So this is the benefit of, having friends to discuss games with because I trust your recommendations. I was going to start Majora's Mask next. Brad said, don't do it. I listened to Brad. So it just is. There's a real value to me personally of trying new games, experiencing these new things because my friends, recommended them to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's delightful doing this show with you guys, so I'm happy to be here. And thank you, audience, for being so kind to us with the show, too. It's very nice to see your guys' comments, so thank you. All right. This is from David. Hey, Punching Up. It sounds like David, like Australian or something. David. Hey, Punching Uppers. Oh, do you have an impression? It sounds like you're about to do one.
I was going to say, it's like Big the Cat is saying it.
David. Yeah. I'm flying to Japan this January. Are there any Nintendo must-dos you could share? Already been to Universal Japan last time and a Pokemon Center, so wanted to know what to focus on this time. Thanks for everything and enjoy your holidays. Well, I don't know how you could do it, but try to get to that Nintendo museum that they opened up there. Dustin got rejected from it to go there, which is very sad, but try to go there if you can. It looks awesome. I'm super jealous everyone gets to go. I want to get a Wiimote pillow that they have there. So much good stuff there. I've never been to Japan, though, so it's going to be hard for me to recommend anything else there. But, hey, you've been to Universal, but now they got the Donkey Kong Land that just opened up there. Go on and get that Donkey Kong dog. Go on that minecart. Live it up. Go high-five Donkey Kong there or something. That's what I would do. Gene, any recommendations?
Not really. I haven't been to Japan in decades now at this point, or like maybe like 15 years. So I didn't do anything video game related at all, other than like go to arcades, of course. Yeah. But I never went to any shops or anything like that. I would recommend, because if I was to go there, I would recommend you visit the Monster Hunter Cafe.
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
go check that out. Nintendo related because Monster Hunter is half a Nintendo IP and half PlayStation, right? Very much handheld, and Monster Hunter Rise was a Nintendo Switch exclusive for quite some time.
Yep.
So yeah, go check it out. They will make the Monster Hunter food. Like as I'm mentioning the Monster Hunter food right now, I'm getting hungry thinking about it.
So good.
I like go check that shit out because that would be one of my priorities once I ever visit Japan.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of game cafes and stuff like that. I would absolutely check out. I think they have
Also,
a
if you know
Kirby
Hideo
cafe.
Kojima, I guess go check out Kojima Productions because everyone else seems to be.
So. Oh yeah, everyone he's letting everyone in there. So go check it out.
For sure.
Micah, anything you would recommend for him to check out?
Yeah, I've never been to Japan, unfortunately. What I would recommend, as Brad said, go to go get the Donkey Kong wiener, go order that,
Use dong, yeah.
Exactly, be like one Donkey Kong dong, please, and they'll ask you to leave. What I want to see when I go to Japan, I've always wanted to go to Kyoto. I want to see the geishas so bad. I love them, and I would die to see one. I would also love to wear a kimono. I doubt that our listener is interested in wearing a kimono, but maybe, because I would absolutely do the Westerner tourist experience of putting on the kimono and having tea. Like that'd be top of my list if I ever went to Japan. I just need to find a way to be unconscious for the flight, so I'm not losing my shit the whole time. Tweet at Dustin. He's been there twice now.
Yeah, you can ask Dustin.
He could probably give you some current ideas of really good shops to visit. Him and Holly came home with some excellent souvenirs from both their trips. So Dustin would be like my number one resource of if you want some interesting shops to visit, I would check in with him.
Yeah, if you want some nerdy weeb advice from Dustin for Japan, he's your guy. He's got you. So fear not. Okay, this is from Nevitz. Hello, Nintendo Punchers. I've really enjoyed using the Nintendo Online subscription this year. I've experienced a ton of games I've never had access to without purchasing everything separately. I think if you have a lot of games you've missed, this is a great service. I'm glad Nintendo has been adding more obscure games like Japanese-only titles and the Donkey Kong Land games. What games are left that you'd like to see whether they be obscure or a favorite of yours? Thanks, and don't forget to collect that power-up this holiday season. All right. So yeah, the NSO actually pretty solid this year. I saw a list of what they added this year to it, but I played quite a few things on it. Like I don't know if it was this year, but they added the Oracle games to it, the Zelda Oracle games. I was really happy to see that. They have like most Zelda games actually on there now, so I think that's really cool. Like for you, Micah, it's like all there if you need it. But you're playing the 3DS versions, which are good versions, so that's totally fine. But for the older games, that's really sweet. They just added the Donkey Kong Land games, like you said, all three of them. So that's really cool. I'm very happy about that. But I don't know, like, what do you guys think? Oh, sorry, for a game that I want there, of course, we've talked about this 100 times. The Pokemon games. Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, something like that. Sapphire, Emerald, all that kind of stuff I think should totally be on there. But that's a Pokemon company. I don't know what they're doing with that, but those are no-brainers for me. Gene, impressions of NSO this year and what you would like to see on there?
I think NSO is incredible because I was wondering if Killer Instinct is on NSO. And apparently this year, they added Killer Instinct for Super Nintendo.
The SNES version? Nice.
Yeah, the SNES version. And I'm like, wait, I didn't even hear about that. I would have popped off so hard. So I think after this, or after our series of podcasts today, I'm gonna hop on the Nintendo Switch and play some Killer Instinct, dude.
Hell yeah!
I love the Super Nintendo version. That was huge for me. So I don't know. I feel like NSO, I've been saying that the NSO has been like actually fantastic, and originally I was saying that it was a better value than the PlayStation Premium thing, but now that I re-up my PlayStation Premium. That PlayStation Premium offerings are pretty good too, right?
Yeah, they are.
So I'm not gonna diss PlayStation, but I think Nintendo offers quite a lot for the $50 that you pay, and some unexpected games that are just on there.
Yeah,
fucking Stud Race FX for fuck's sake, you know. Stunt Race FX, which was like a polygon 3D racer that was that came out like around the time of like Virtua Racing and Ridge Racer arcades and with that. And this was like the Super Nintendo version of them trying to do something like that. And I loved that game.
Yeah.
And the fact that fucking game's on NSO, that's incredible. So yeah. Thanks for reminding me that I actually that there's probably so much on NSO that I need to go back to and play, including Killer Instinct. So I don't know, Killer Instinct Gold and 64.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, if they added that, that's a great.
Or just more N64 games in general, right? But yeah,
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 dude, they added Banjo-Tooie this year. F-Zero Maximum Velocity, that couple F-Zero games, man. There's good stuff on here that they've added.
Ridiculous year, So
Super
shout out, keep it at the PlayStation and Nintendo for really, really offering like robust offerings for their subscription services.
Yeah,
they're making it worthwhile. So
definitely. Anything for you that you've enjoyed on there, Micah, this year, and that you would like to see in the future?
So I'm a new subscriber, like relatively new. I signed up because I wanted to try A Link to the Past. And this service it works really well. The list of games, as someone who signed up for the first time this year, it's a huge catalog of games to play through. And yeah, there's other Zelda games in there I want to get to. I want to try out the Minish Cap. There's a whole list of these that my goal, is to just keep trying different Zeldas. Whether I jive with it or not, I would just like to keep trying them. But yeah, signing up for the service for the first time and seeing, whoa, there's a lot of games in here. It's excellent. One that I would love to see, this is a childhood favorite game. It's not like an actual like Nintendo first party game, but Hamtaro Ham Heartbreak was one of my favorite games when I was a kid. I do own it for Game Boy Advance, but it's just like, that's a really random game that I doubt would ever come over. However, I just adore it. I loved Hamtaro when I was a child, and I used to play this. There was a girl in my class, Haley, and she had the pink Nintendo Game Boy Advance, and I just loved playing that game with her. And like, she'd let me take a turn playing it at recess, and it was just one of those things I adore that game from my childhood. It's not very good. In retrospect, I tried to play it, many years later. It's not a great game. However, I'd love to see it on there. I'd love to see a bunch of gamer bros try it out and give me their reviews on Nintendo Ham Heartbreak.
I remember Hamtaro. Yeah, I'd absolutely try that out.
God, the theme song, I still remember it. I loved Hamtaro, and the games. Not good, but I liked them nonetheless.
Yeah. All right, guys. Final little write-in right here. This is from Zugdar. How about some fun bets in a game on Switch 2's predictions? Listed below are wishful anticipated features for the Switch. You have 100 chips to bet on these 10 predictions with odds for payout. When the Switch 2 is finally revealed, I'll repost the results. Feel free to remove or edit any predictions as necessary and add stakes. Okay, so we're not going to worry about doing 100 points things. We're just going to do yes or no to keep it simple.
Okay, because I was like, I'm too fucking stupid for this, bro. I was like, what are you trying to tell me?
But Zogdar, if you could report back next year, so let us know. Okay, so what do you guys think? Achievement system for the next thing. Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
If they would have done it, they would have done it by now.
I'm going to say yes, even though I think no. But I'm going to choose to believe and put that energy out there. But at the same time, it's not happening. But I'm going to put that out there. I gotta, put my money where my mouth is. Put the bet on the line. Gotta believe. Okay. Street Pass revival. Yes or no?
Wow. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I would say no, but my God, that would be so welcome and interesting,
Mm-hmm.
Especially since like the Switch is like a legit hit, console.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm gonna say no though, because they didn't do that for the regular Switch. So it's been 7 years. Yep. So I mean, maybe though, maybe they just didn't plan shit for the Switch at all. Like, like this thing is gonna have fucking. Oh, you didn't like the features in the Wii U? You don't like Me Pass? How about fucking nothing then? That's what Nintendo felt like in the Switch. How about fucking nothing? Here's a Mario and Zelda game. You want this shit? Here you go. And we're like, yeah, we do love it though, And then but once we got past once we hit the hangover of like, oh yeah, that Mario and Zelda games were so great, and then it's like, oh well, we got no themes or features or anything like that. So,
Okay.
but yeah, so I mean, maybe yes, because it feels like maybe they fucked up Switch, and they're like, we didn't plan it, and it's like, okay, well, we'll plan the next one better.
Okay, so what are you saying? Yes or no?
I'll say
then?
yes for Street Pass.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the same energy, to put some good energy out there, because I
Okay,
would like to see a
cool.
Street Pass for sure.
Cool. Micah, what do you think?
I'm saying no. I would like to see it come back. I want to note that, for example, when I was looking at potentially getting a Switch Lite in the heat of the moment last week, when you look at the marketing for the Switch Lite, and they're all about take it with you everywhere, and they're showing pictures of you putting it in a backpack and and it's like, this is what it feels like is that the Switch, being a hybrid console, it feels like they leaned a little more into it stays at home, so Street Pass, don't worry about it. But the reality is that with experiences like Animal Crossing and the Pokemon games, like, these are perfect Street Pass opportunities. These are perfect things to, like I used to always do, bring my 3DS to PAX East and to get like your little tokens or whatever for how many people you walk by, whatever the fuck. And it's like, yeah, it had an impact in games like that. Those, games where you was like this community feel, like Animal Crossing. So it did feel like a missed opportunity, because the Switch was very portable and we did bring it places, maybe not as compact as a DS, 3DS, but still. So I would like to see it come back, but my gut answer is no.
Okay.
I don't really see it making a comeback.
Yeah, I don't see it coming back right now either. I think it'd be cool, like you guys say. I think Street Pass is really fun, so I would love to see it come back, but I'm just going to say no, sadly. I already put out my gotta believe energy out there with the achievements.
You can't spread it too thin. Because imagine Street Pass for something that would have been like Splatoon, 2 or 3. Just thinking of what Street Pass could have done for those, an online game like that. I mean, it would have been really cool. So the fact that they didn't do it with those titles in mind just makes me feel like they're not going to make it come back.
I know. Sad. Okay, themes in menus. What do you think? Are we going to have themes?
I'll say yes.
Ooh, I like that, Gene.
Because they've been really aggressive with the Nintendo Switch like profile picture shit,
Yes, that's true.
So it's like, okay, well, I think they realize, like, maybe you just can't fucking do anything with the Switch OS, It's just like, because like you look at the PS5 anniversary editions, right? The 30th anniversary editions, and like I love them. I love the audio, but like the overlay images on the menus is fucking ugly, And it's like, this is really the best you could do with the PlayStation OS, So maybe the Switch, like the PlayStation OS is already like that. Maybe the Switch OS is just even more restrictive and you just can't do anything. So it's like, hopefully they actually have an actual OS as opposed to just like blocks of games that you can touch or whatever. But yeah,
because like 3DS had themes and stuff, so hopefully it comes back. What do you think though, Micah?
I'm going with no, only because they got away with it. Okay, Switch, like Gene said, yes, turn on your Switch, it's just a gray background and here's all your games. And it's just so easy. I don't picture them revamping it. Once again, I'd love for them to. I'd love for some quirky little menu, but I feel like, look, you got away with it for this long, and I think they're just going to stick with the simple style.
I'm going to say no, because I don't think they'll be there at launch. Maybe they'll add them later on, but at launch, no, I don't think so whatsoever. But I'll just say no. Let's see here. Named Super Switch. The next handheld. I'll just say no. I don't think so. That'd be sick, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I'll say no too.
What do you think, Micah?
I'm a no. They're gonna call it something stupid, like this is the Pocky. It'll be something dumb. All right, like it's just it won't be what we want. They probably heard people call it Super Switch, or like, that's an idea. But we already called it the spaghetti trombone. Yeah. So you're just gonna be stuck with that.
Yeah, like Aqua Lab.
I feel like they would see everyone wanting the Super Switch, and they're like, oh, well, if everyone's expecting that, then they always want to do something unexpected.
Yeah, we gotta defy expectations.
Yeah.
We're smarter than you.
Yeah.
If this is what the serfs are asking for, then it must not be good enough.
Exactly.
We need to do something better.
Let's see here. New Mario game announced. Yes.
Yes.
It's about time. Yeah.
Yes, I will say yes, confidently. New Mario game. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Let's see. Performance patches for current Switch games. Ooh, this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
You think so? Okay, I like that.
There was already reports of the Breath of the Wild running, you know?
Yeah, that's true. You're right, Gene.
So if they already know that Breath of the Wild is like the perfect example to demonstrate it, right? It would have so much more of an impact than showing like here's The Last of Us 2, and then here's The Last of Us 2 again, but it's a little sharper. Can't you tell? You know,
yeah.
Breath of the Wild is like look at how fucking smooth it runs right now. You know,
exactly.
Everybody will just see that immediately. You know, so it's like it's got to be the easiest way to just one up Mark Cerny and just like have just an impressive show. You know. Even though it's not going to be more powerful than PS5, but
right. Do you think though that they won't do a new version and charge for that?
That's harder to explain, to tell, because I don't know. Because
I just feel like Nintendo loves reselling stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think they probably would. They'll probably find some way to resell it to us for sure.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if it's cheaper, you know, maybe it's $40 because Nintendo has been okay with selling games a little cheaper, right?
Sometimes
some games, like Link's Awakening was $40, right?
Was it?
Wait, no, was it? No, it was. Oh fuck, it was.
No, Metroid was.
Yeah. Metroid was like $50. That's right. Yeah,
it was cheaper.
So there you go. So it's like. So there is a possibility where Nintendo is like, okay, well, we know that it's the same fucking game, but 60 frames. So maybe here it is for $40 or $50, as opposed to like the cart gets upgraded and powered up by the GPU or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm going to say no, just because I think they'd want to sell it again. But I hope I'm wrong, because that'd be awesome if there's patches. Micah, what do you think?
Honestly, I think there will be improvements, especially when we talk about games, for example, like Princess Peach Showtime having like atrocious loading. And it's like, this is a brand new game on an old system. It's not your best showing. So I feel like there is plenty of room for like patches like that. But yeah, whether they're going to charge you for it, it's like, where do they want to have the selling point? Do they want to tell parents, hey, your kid can play these games on the new system. You don't have to buy them again. That would earn them a ton of brownie points with the parents, you know, whose kids love Switch. Or are they going to target us, adult gamers with disposable income and say, you got to buy it if you want it to be better?
Yeah.
I don't honestly know which avenue they're going to go down, but I do think that there will be like performance patches for sure. There's just plenty of games that could use a tune-up. If it's going to be backwards compatible, it might as well be the best place to play it.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Let's see here. Multiple power / quality SKUs. So like different versions of the console at launch.
Nope.
I don't think so either.
Nope.
That's going to come way down the line. That's going to come down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Oogalaboo, whatever it's called, light version, something like that. You're going to get that later down the line. But at launch, I don't think so.
Sure. Yeah.
Like
Switch OLED, Super Switch OLED or whatever.
Yeah. Like Wii U had two different versions. They had like memory. One had more memory than the other, and it was black.
Oh, did it? I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, and it came with the Mario game at the time. But that I don't think they're going to do that with their new thing. Switch was too successful for them not to just replicate it, I feel like. But we'll see. Let's see here. Dock with additional graphic booster, not just overclocking. So, playing docked mode, noticeable boost in power, not just overclocking, I guess. I'm not quite sure how it works on Switch. I guess maybe it's just overclocked because it has higher resolution sometimes on stuff like that. But what do you think, Gene?
No, I probably not. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Same experience, pretty much.
Like even the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally doesn't like well, I mean, it doesn't really need that, but it doesn't do that either. So I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just
Okay.
going to be a handheld that connects to your TV.
Okay. Micah, what do you think?
Yeah, same as Gene. I don't think that the dock is gonna have like, oh, this is the powerful way to play it. I think it's gonna be much more like the current Switch, where yeah, it's on your TV. It just feels like power isn't their priority. Like, regardless of if they could, like, they know they could charge us a lot of money for this and make it really powerful. They won't. So it just doesn't feel like what they care about.
Nope. I agree with you guys 100%. Okay, let's see. New IP announced. I think so. I feel like they always have one weird new thing that comes out at launch. Like, think of ARMS and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think there'll be something new, yeah. What do you think, Micah?
No, I agree, because thinking of, ARMS, 1-2 Switch, regardless of whether or not these ideas really took off or if they were super popular, they came out with something fresh and new to introduce it. I mean, yes, Splatoon a launch game on Wii U? No. But it was a Wii U, like that was
No,
new
it
to
wasn't.
Wii U.
It wasn't a launch game. No.
No. But still, that was a new IP designed for Wii U. So I feel like our odds are pretty good that we're going to have something we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Gene?
Yeah, totally. I feel like Nintendo gets one of the most unfair criticisms, or just the fucking just hate that Nintendo gets is, but Nintendo is just releasing the same game all the time over and over again, and people just buy like slop or whatever like that. And it's like, no, Nintendo. First of all, every Mario and Zelda game is different, right?
Right.
So that doesn't even make sense. And then Nintendo is always trying to make new IP. They're interested in that. They want to grow. Yeah. They want to grow to have more characters. They don't want to just rely. They're smart enough that they know that they can't just rely on Mario and Pokemon and Zelda forever and ever and ever, even though they can and will. But the Nintendo is a famously cautious company. So they're going to want to build as many safety nets as they can. So it would behoove them to try to make another big hit, like Splatoon.
Exactly. Yep.
Splatoon it was a hit, and it's one of their bigger hits now. And I think Splatoon is now considered one of their 4 pillars.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. 10+ year dormant franchise revealed. Something that's been in the cooker for a long time, or it's been gone for a while. Like, let's say, example, Wave Race comes back or something like that. That's just been gone for a while, for over 10 years at least. This is interesting. I really don't know what to say on this one, because I feel like they could bring stuff back in just a really weird new way. Like Chibi Robo comes back in some weird way or something like that. I don't know. But I'll just say no for now. Gene, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll just say no for now, because, just to be safe. Not at launch. Maybe later. Yeah.
Okay. Micah?
Yeah, same. I feel like there's too many possibilities in the first place. But like you said, they could bring back something 100% random. Well, I mean, I wasn't expecting Xenoblade Chronicles X to be coming to Switch next March. Like, that was out of nowhere. Just like, why are we doing this now? It's too unpredictable. I'm going to say no.
Yeah. Okay, so this is in case we have a tiebreaker. How many new games will be revealed? So we're going to just say at the whenever they show the Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called, the announcement thing, and they show the games. How many new games will be revealed? I have no idea how many were at the last one. I'm just going to say 4.
They have more than that, so I'll say 15.
Did they have that many? Okay, not ports. Yeah. Remember that. Just new games. Maybe they had a lot. I can't recall. I'll just go low then, 4. Mm-hmm. And you're going to say 15? Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you think, Micah?
My gut answer is 7. That's one of my favorite numbers. My other favorite number being 3, and the other one being 15, which was taken. So I'm going 7.
Okay, great, perfect. It works. All right,
So there were 13 games at launch for the Switch.
There you go.
So
okay,
shout out to Fast RMX, the futuristic racing game. I bought that shit.
Yeah. Well, remember, this is just at the reveal of the console. Not launch.
Oh, reveal. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, probably like 5 games then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did I say? I said 4.
You said 4.
You said 4.
Okay, 4,
yeah.
5.
Yeah, I would say like
7.
Like 5 maybe. Okay.
Okay.
Or like maybe like 7. Maybe closer. Yeah, because
I mean, you can do the same number. It's fine. Okay. Cool. Well, there it is. Lock it in. Zugdar, you get back to us next year. You let us know how we did. All right, guys, we're done. Another episode of Punching Up in the books. I think this is coming out on New Year's Eve, I want to say, for patrons, I think. So by the time a lot of you hear this, you may be ringing the new year, maybe 2025 already. But next episode, after this one, we're going to look forward to the year. We're looking forward to Switch in 2025. We're going to go over all that kind of stuff. So be excited for that. Micah, Gene, thank you for joining me here. I appreciate it. Any final thoughts or words you want to say before we leave?
Just with this being the holiday time episode, I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, a joyous Hanukkah, harvestful Kwanzaa. I'm not sure what Kwanzaa is, but I just hope everyone really enjoyed the holidays and has a wonderful new year.
Yes. Gene, anything from you?
No, just this is a sign off for the year. So thanks everyone for listening. Even to all my haters.
Yeah,
as Trump would say, Merry Christmas to all my haters too.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everyone for listening. It's been a fun year, and shout out to LSM for having me on too. So
cool. All right, everybody. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. We'll see you next episode. Take care and goodbye. Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is a product of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Bradley Ellis. My co-hosts are Gene Park and Micah Moriarty. The show is edited and produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Punching Up, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we're grateful for your kind contributions and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.